Hey, MJ, how's it going?
Going good. Good evening or afternoon, evening. Yeah, good evening. You have even more of the Goku look going on. This is even more Super Saiyan than last time.
I just need to get a bottle of gold hairspray and then I'll be set.
That's the only thing that's left, I promise.
Maybe for Halloween.
Right.
How are you doing?
Maybe I'm doing okay. And you?
I'm chilling, man. I'm having a good day as usual. I'm blessed, enjoying my day, and happy to be here and see you guys and see your face. And you're still
Yeah,
here. I'm glad. I'm
yeah,
grateful. I'm happy for that.
yeah,
How
yeah.
how are you doing? Just overall, how are you doing?
I'm okay. I mean, like that day was very annoying and I don't know. I was really down like that whole evening. I kind of had to just get my mind. I had to try and do things to get my mind off of it. Second day was a little better. Day two was a little better, but I still, I'm the kind of person that like it really sits on me, right? Like when something that feels that crushing happen, at least in quote, right? Like that crushing happens, like it really does sit on me, and it takes quite a bit for me to work my way out of, the pit hole that I'm feeling a lot of times. So, yeah, the funny thing is, I know that they're fine. Like, because I was also taking a look at your message. I was reading through again to see what I could pick up on based on what you were asking me. So I know that they're okay, right? Funny enough, I feel like I'm the one that had the sour taste because obviously I had an expectation in my mind for what I wanted to do, right? I think that the dude was like a champ in terms of just turning the whole situation around. Like he was pretty chill. Like like he still cracked jokes, even if it was like a very heated, like tense. At least I was feeling tense, and I felt like I wasn't moving forward. He was still able to like, crack jokes through it that got us to laugh and just ease the whole situation a little bit. So at the end of the day, like based on your message, it didn't end up being a bad energy as you would imagine. Like at least as I would have thought. It wasn't something that ended up being pretty nasty in that sense. Was pretty chill, like in terms of how everything kind of closed up there. So I kind of just figured in my mind, essentially like what you said. I was of the mindset, and I think the reason why I'm finding it difficult to even continue is because I had an expression for where I wanted to be in terms of just my mindset, right? So that definitely feels like a bottleneck for me.
Say
And
that part again. What did you just say? I missed that part a little bit. You had a certain expectation of what?
yeah, I had a certain expectation of how I was hoping the conversion was gonna go,
I see.
right? Which was either we settle the remaining payment in full, or I wasn't continuing to work essentially, right? So even though everything kind of went okay, and I just sucked it up, I did I'm like, okay, I will complete the 27 days with you. Um, but in my mind, it's not with the intention that I'm going to convert anything. I'm not trying to get anything else after. Like it's just more or less like if it churns, it churns. Like I really don't. That's where my heart kind of feels right, and I really don't care too much. I'm just like, okay, 27 days, we'll finish it up and we'll go from there. Even after the call, I started thinking about like, is there something else I can think about to say to still stop doing it ahead of time? Maybe something came up and like we have to stop and whatever the case may be. So I'm still thinking through what that looks like for me because if I'm being honest, I'm being really honest about how I feel. I kind of feel like the experience of the sour taste is not allowing me to even want to keep working with the person, even though like everything is okay technically, right? But I'm just not in that zone anymore. Like I'm just, doing anything just feels like I don't want to be doing this. That's how I feel, right? That's how I feel. But yeah, it ended up being okay. And it's not bad. Like I speak, like we hopped on the call. Everything is chill. Everything is chill for the most part. So I'm just giving them their remaining days, not with the intention of turning anything over. If it churns, it churns. But like, or I could think of something within this period of time if I am sleep with what my messaging will be, but to be able to still stop. Even maybe before the 30 days are up, or that I could let them know whatever it is that's going on, and I only get them the 30 days. But once that's done, like we're not even continuing. I'm not even going to meet with them to do a check-in or anything like that. Those are the things that I'm currently processing right now. But yeah, but I'm good. I'm okay. I'm okay. It could took me a couple of days, but I think I'm okay. Um, okay. So I'm just
So,
opening up my ad account here. Yeah, go ahead.
so I just had a few questions. So as you're talking, so one thing that you said is that they're okay. Define what you meant by that. Like when you say, "Oh, they're okay," what do you mean by that?
Oh, like I felt like I would be I would be hated, or like like at that kind of point when you feel like you had like a sour taste with somebody, it's like I don't even want to work with you anymore, type of thing. I don't get that. I don't get that feeling in terms of like, oh, you're not someone that I want to do any business with or even speak with or something like that. So that's what I mean by when I feel like they're okay. My like their relation, like the way that they see me, a relationship with me is not soured in their mind. At least that's what I think. Right.
Okay. So I'm before I get into like, okay, proactive and lessons to learn, I just want to like learn a little bit more about how you're feeling. So they're okay in terms of they're not projecting towards you like, oh, MJ, we don't want to work with you, never work with you, you're a douchebag, whatever. But you obviously have something that's in the pit of your stomach. There's something going on because otherwise you wouldn't use words like, oh, I don't even feel like doing this thing with them. It makes it hard to continue. What's going on? Walk me. Is it the fact that it's like, hey, I'm putting this time and energy, I put all this thing, I put all my, it's kind of like you're working your energy and your weight up to asking this girl out who you've been talking to your friend about for a long time. And then she not only says no, but she absolutely demolishes you and embarrasses you in front of everybody. Like, what's going on that's causing you to feel what you're feeling? Is it that? Is it that you worked all your way up and then it's all gone to like, oh, this isn't going to go anywhere? Like, what's the issue
Yeah,
from your end?
fair enough. I think this is what it might be. So I never knew to not do a 30-day free trial the first time I had to close, right? So at the time that I said that, I was okay. I was fine, like mentally, like it wasn't a problem for me. So when we spoke, I felt like that was a very big mistake for me to have said a 30-day free trial right after you coached me on that. So I had my eyes and my mind set on the 7 day that we spoke about after our conversation. So that became my new goalpost. So the 30 days that felt like it wasn't too long, it's okay, it's fine. And I was very willing to do that. Now I want the 7 days to be able to convert over or nothing at all, really, right? Or nothing at all. So that became my expectation and my mindset. So when that didn't happen, now, even though I was fine with 30 days initially, now I'm just like, I want to be done with this, right? Because now my new current goalpost isn't what I achieved. And because it's not what I achieved, I'm now feeling like, why am I even doing this? You know what I mean? So I think that's really where my mental state is for the most part, right? Because I moved goalposts and this is exactly what I set my eyes on for the past,
So as
week or so.
you're talking out loud, what are some of like maybe the pitfalls or fallacies or unhealthy thinking in terms of this logic? Like what are some things that are negatively associated with what's going on here? Let's be logical about this. How do we reframe this is kind of what I'm getting at.
How do you mean? I'm not sure I quite understand.
So it seems very this comes from like a good place and a loving place. I'm not sure I have the best words, so I'm just gonna kind of say what comes to my
Yes.
mind, but trust me, it comes from a good place. Uh, it's almost it's almost like illogical. It's
I
almost
might have a way.
illogical the way that you
I might have a something that could help.
sure. Let me
Um,
say this really quickly.
yeah, sure, sure.
Um, it's almost illogical in a sense that your goal changed after our conversation. But the thing is, like, you were happy already. So it's almost like a bird that never opens its eyes and like to it, the world is black. It's like you had this certain belief about life, and then I changed your perception, and now this became
Mhm.
your reality. But it's like, okay, well, this is my reality, this is my percent, but you can always just go back to your reality. It's like, oh, 30 days is fine. It's totally
Yeah.
normal. So that's something that you're creating within your own mind.
Yes.
That
Yes.
makes sense. So
Yes.
um, I guess when you hear that, like what comes to your mind? Do you feel like, oh, I am stuck on the 7 days now. I cannot go back. Once I've seen it, I cannot unsee it. Or is there a way that you can reframe it in your mind?
I think it's possible. I think it's possible to like reframe it. Like at the end of the day, the way that I'm trying to operate doesn't matter how I feel,
One other thing
right?
I would, one other
Yes.
thing, so that's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is that, sometimes people talk about like, Kushik, what is the objection I could have handled at the end of the sales call? And it's like, no. The objection occurred at the very beginning. It's within the first 10 seconds because you didn't frame the conversation right. So the problem that you have, one problem, it's not even a problem, but one thing is I seek poison into your mind a little bit, perhaps through my perception. And so now you took my goals. And then the second problem is that, I'm having a brain fart. It was just there. Oh, is the fact that you have to love yourself and be okay with yourself and be kind to yourself, and that you didn't know, like, this is a problem that you couldn't. The reality is how it's difficult to fix this problem because you're trying to fix it too late. This is one of those things where it's like, oh, I offered 30 days, and then it becomes okay, somewhere between the conversation, I'm going to try to change it to 7 days. It's very difficult to, it's trying to like take a tree that's been growing this way for 15 years and trying to straighten it. And so you have to, I think, be kind with yourself regarding that as well. So, anyways, what you were saying.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Like everything that you're saying is correct. And I know this as well. I think the only mentality or the mindset that I have currently is that I know how I feel, but I'm not letting it dictate what I do, if that makes sense. Right? So even though I feel like that pit in my stomach, I am still trying to reframe my happiness back to where it was before. But even if I don't get there, what's most important is I have a job to do, technically. I'm just gonna do it, regardless of how I feel. Right. So at least that's, even if I'm not able to at the end of 30 days be happy doing it, I'm just gonna more focus on I'm just gonna do it. Like I'm just going to make sure that I get it done for the most part, right?
That is
So
that is a very stoic mindset, is the right mindset.
yeah.
But also, you are at a critical stage, and I mentioned this within the Loom video, is there's only so much gas that you have in your tank.
Mhm.
And that's my concern, is
Yeah.
how much can you muscle through this? And so you have to be honest with yourself. And the question becomes, I think, like, it's a very stoic thought, but another stoic thought is this, is can I frame it to be a positive thing or no? Very simple.
Mhm.
Of just getting through it, ask yourself a question. Can I frame it to be a positive thing that I enjoy or no? And if you cannot enjoy it, I don't think it is worth it. It is not worth just doing it just to do it. That's a stoic thought, but another stoic thought is, can I frame my mind or no? Because if you cannot frame your mind, it's going to be very difficult to do other things that you're going to need to do over the next 1-2 months.
Right. I think I could. I think I could reframe my mind. Especially if like, because part of the little excitements I've gotten is there are some little pieces of like, okay, well, there really isn't any money or pressure on me in terms of what I need to do, because like I'm not even being paid at this point. So I could figure stuff out, right? Between what's happening with the leads and communicating with them and actually trying to get someone to pay or buy something. And I've been having those little, wins in my mind. Like, okay, I've tried. So one thing I've noticed for sure, like I know it's a weird thing to say, but the 5-minute rule that we've been talking about, with all the leads that I've been pouring in for this client, somehow none, I would say maybe out of 10, only one person actually does message back from any automation. Like if you had anything that gets sent a message, nobody responds. Like at least from the people that are poured in right now through the ads, nobody's responded. So it was enough for me to start thinking, okay, you know what? I'm not even going to wait for them to respond. I need to try and switch up the strategy and just call immediately, right? Because every time I would call later, nobody wants to talk to me, right? Like it was like you already know, no one remembers what they did. Like they put in their name to be contacted and they completely forget. It's like, okay, I'm gonna try that. And I did the first one like this morning, and it was semi better because at least they still remembered me. It's just that their location was off. Like they said that they're from somewhere different city. I'm like, what the heck is going on with the ads? Like I thought I'm targeting where I should be, so I should go get that checked. And I was going to show it on the screen even here to see if I could something I could fix with that point. But all to say, I think it's possible that I could, ultimately still enjoy doing it in the process of just trying to figure stuff out and just learn. in the time that I have. So that's my thoughts there.
As I don't know if you can see this, but I drew out that and it goes in, there's two different arrows and my handwriting is terrible, so I'm not surprised if you cannot read it. But basically, I'm simply saying that you can focus, you can be in a positive mindset and say, I'm going to take this time and energy to focus on that, which you're just doing right now, which is service delivery. And so you're putting in the reps, you're thinking critically, okay, I try to send a message, it doesn't work. Okay, let me try to call them. Let's see what's better there. And if you can do that and tell yourself it's a win, then there's value there.
Yeah.
Another thing that you can do is you can, again, spend your time and energy focusing on more sales calls, discovery calls to grow your agency. I personally think that's a better use of your time and energy, but it's up to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
And then
I
in terms
could. Yeah, go ahead.
there in the Loom video, I discussed that as well. It's the
Okay.
agency. I'll kind of just give you a teaser right now. It's important to understand that the agency is not the end all be all. The agency is a starting stone. I go over that in the Loom video. The agency is not the end all be all because I know you said something along the lines of, "Hey, pause in the agency. My heart's not in this right now." Da 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 da. That's not the point. The agency is a starting point. It is not the end point.
Okay.
The agency building these skills will lead to other opportunities.
Yeah, I'll give that a watch.
So I just wanted to lead with that because I guess, like I said, you have a certain amount of energy in your tank. You can either focus on service delivery or you can focus on the other task. And again, that task will be much better for you in the long term. Not right now, but in the long term. Anyways, I think the other thing I wrote down is like, not letting people get under your skin and being able to just like do the thing. That is a skill to build. Another skill to build is also just knowing when to cut ties, like knowing when to call it quits and coming up with something and doing something because you're going to have this kind of stuff happen again in the future, MJ. You're going to have somebody that you have a relationship with that you have to be able to future pace and know like this is not going to go anywhere and you have to cut ties so that you can focus on other opportunities. This itself is a skill. So that's kind of another reason why maybe subconsciously I was suggesting that you do this so that you can learn it in the future. This is one thing that Rodarte had to do, right? Rodarte had to do. He had a nightmare client say, "Hey, look, you need to focus. You need to just get this off your plate so you can focus on other things, and you need to learn to build the skills now because you're going to deal with a client like this in the future." Um, what do you think? Do you think that if you do a good job, you will be able to convert this person or not?
Yeah, I think I would be able to. I think I'd be able to.
Do you
Yeah.
think
They just want the result of, getting at least a client booked is probably all that they want. I feel like they want to see, for the most part. I think it would be an easy conversion if I did a good job. Yeah.
that's fair? Um, what else did you want? What else do you think that we can discuss on our call today? I think you had some numbers you wanted to share.
Yeah. I not
But
really.
also Mason was
Yeah.
Mason, was there something you wanted to share with MJ?
Um, yeah, I don't know how helpful it's gonna be, but it's kind of like a more of a tough love type thing, but it's like the way that I look at this game is like solving a puzzle. And when I say like solving a puzzle, I mean like literally like taking the puzzle pieces out of the box. And like since you're starting now, right? It's like let's just say it's a 100-piece puzzle, you have none of the corners. And solving that puzzle is so much harder, right? If you don't have any of the pieces already on. So it's like you're getting thrown into this pit, and it's like you have to learn sales, you have to learn appointment setting, you have to learn how to get your clients results, you have to figure out how to cut ties with clients, you have to figure out how to manage your clients, you have to figure out how to get their employees to actually care about the business so maybe they could schedule the appointments for you, etc. It's like a whole, navigational process where you kind of have to figure out like all these different moving pieces, right? And like the way that I look at it is like you have to check one box at a time, and it's unreasonable to like think you're going to get it all on your first go. So like I can kind of relate to this story in a way because I was running these like free trials myself, and I would do them for like 2 weeks, and then I even did them longer. I did like 14 days and I changed it to like 30 days if I didn't get them results. And then after I figured out how to get them results, I kind of cut down. I was like, okay, it's going to be 3 days. Right. But the reason I had the confidence in being able to do that is because I went through trying to figure out that client fulfillment process. And once I figured out, I knew I had the piece of the puzzle that I was missing. And once I figured out that piece of the puzzle, now I know what to say on the discovery call. I know what to say on the onboarding call to prepare them for what's going to happen for the next 3 days.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes. No,
So
absolutely.
yeah, so it's like I think the way that you're thinking about it now is like you're not, I'm not saying you're complaining or something along the lines of that, but it's like imagine a 60-year-old that has hip pain and then they're finally starting to be like, oh shit, like my hip hurts. And it's like if you would have initially started to do all the hip exercises beforehand,
Mhm.
right? Then it's like you'd be prepared for all of the hip pain that you're going to receive later on in life, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying you're not preparing the right way or anything along the lines of that. I'm simply just saying like just focus on crossing off one box at a time and know that it is supposed to be overwhelming. It's not supposed to be easy. And if it was easy, everyone would be doing it anyway.
Yeah.
But like once you have client fulfillment figured out, you'll see like the weight like get lifted straight off your shoulders. Like you'll be like, okay, like wow, this is a lot easier. Or like vice versa in terms of like hierarchy. Like I agree with Koshik. I do think that if you figure out the sales part first, it's going to be significantly easier because you'll have the resources to go and figure out client fulfillment. Like if you can sell all day and you can acquire money in your pocket, go hire some fucking nerd to figure it out for you, like straight up. But no one's going to sell and collect money for you. And that's like the number one revenue driver of a business. I like back in my entrepreneurship journey, dude, like I cared so much about client fulfillment because I didn't want to piss anyone off. But like in the early stage of the game, that's what I was scared of the most. Because if I couldn't do the best and I couldn't retain them, if I couldn't retain them, I felt like a piece of shit. They hated me. And it's like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? If I can't even get people results, why am I getting more people to begin with in the first place? Right. And it took me so long to realize, like, yo, if I just fucking figure out sales, I can figure out how to make money on that front end. I can figure all that shit out later because I have more shit to test and try. Right. So, like,
Yeah.
realistically, if your goal is to help so many people, it's like, if you quote unquote fuck 5 people over in the beginning, like, okay, dude, like whatever, you can always go back. Once you figure it out, be like, bro, we'll help you for free. Like if you have that conscious mind of like, bro, like I just screwed up. I didn't do well. I didn't give them what I promised, whatever, dude, you have time to go back. Do shit for them for free. Clear your conscience, bro. I know you're a good person. You know what I mean? I'm the same way. I go above and beyond. I had an old client of mine literally message me today. He's like, hey man, do you have any appointment setters? I was like, no, but I have trainings for stuff. He's like, how much are you gonna charge me for them? I'm like, bro, I honestly don't even do coaching like that too much anymore. I'll just give you my shit for free. And they're like, no, dude, I value your time. I'll pay you. But I'm just like, no, dude, like take it for free. Because I owe him, because I quote unquote not necessarily fucked him over. I gave him a lot of value, but it's like now I have the resources to go and help him. So I guess like my ending statement is like it's unreasonable to think that you're gonna be good at something that like you just started doing.
Yeah.
Like take a chill pill, realize it's gonna take you 3 months, 4 months. You'll get fulfillment down, and then if you have sales down, you have fulfillment down, bro. You have nothing to worry about. Just figure out those two pieces. That's it. That's literally it.
Thanks, man. I agree with you.
Just to recap some of the things that Mason said that I think are very valuable is I think it's a great analogy, a great metaphor analogy in terms of the puzzle. You have so many pieces that are missing. And so for you to expect like, oh, it's going to be this beautiful thing, it's going to be ugly. It's going to be very ugly until you get all the pieces. And that's what we're trying to help you do is get these pieces one by one by one. And once everything clicks, it's going to be beautiful. I promise you. So understand that sometimes you're going to go and you're like, why doesn't this fit? It's not supposed to fit. It's going to be okay. You're developing the piece. We're going to help you develop the piece. The second big part is I think that's a good thing. You can always like maybe remind yourself of that, keep that somewhere, post it somewhere. I can always go back. I am a good person. I genuinely care. I will go back. I will always make it right. But I must be selfish in the short term to be selfless in the long term. I must be selfish. You must be selfish. And what I mean by that is you must figure out closing deals and just helping people get through like the first 5, 6 clients. It's not going to be perfect. I promise you. It wasn't for me. Mason's been here with me for years, and he's seen every single client we have, we get a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better, push a little bit further every single client. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me? So, and I used to go over this on my onboarding. I didn't go over this with you, MJ, but I always tell people, get your first 20 clients. It's not about you want to close your first 20 clients because you want to practice on them. When you practice on them, you get better. When you get better, your clients win, and therefore you can take that information and feed it back to the other clients. A lot of stuff I share with you guys, like literally with the onboarding stuff, I had a conversation with Aman. I'm like, hey man, walk me through your onboarding, and maybe I'm missing something. I got valuable information from him. I got valuable information from Adam Tony, valuable information from Mason, and then I revamped the material, not just from what I have in my noggin, but from other guys as well. So, anyways, I feel like maybe we sound like a broken record, MJ, but what we're trying to do is we're urging you and we're trying to urge you to keep pushing forward and fight
Yeah.
the good battle.
Yeah.
What else did you want to go
Never,
over, MJ?
yeah, no, thank you guys. I've never taken that for granted, for sure. Like, and I have, I try my best. If I say that, like again, I think I've mentioned this to you, Kushik, as well. But if I say that I want to be mentored, it's almost like blind faith for me, right? Like I have to trust what someone else has done before me. So, and I have seen it. So every step I've taken has been an enlightenment, and that's just the way that it's happened. Like every blind spot I had because I did the thing, I saw the light for that thing, and it was a little easier each time. So that is true, and I am still pushing forward, essentially. So I won't quit in that sense. I'll keep pushing forward. So thank you. I appreciate it. Sometimes, it's just therapy at this point. What
Yeah,
I need
a lot of
sometimes,
therapy.
that's all it is. It's not that it's really like this, but it's just like, I just need to let out the steam a little bit. So so that feels
Welcome to
good.
Let Off.
That feels good to hear. Yeah. I'll just
Uh,
share my screen here quickly. I think I'm almost done working. I think my brother will be outside. So let me see if I can just share this part of what I just had two questions really. So this is the current ad or campaign that I'm running. I was running the laser hair removal for them. So I haven't seen this before. I have a hunch as to why this is so limited, oh sorry, learning limited. I don't know if this is because I don't have any like demographic targeting, like, what I mean by that is like interest and whatever. So maybe that's why. Okay, so I've never seen that before.
don't
And
worry about, you know,
I
don't worry about learning limited or any of that stuff. Whenever it says, as long as the ads are as long as the ads are delivering and they're spending money, don't worry about it. Facebook is just being dumb.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
Because usually on my ad account, I would always just see active. So when I had these go live, every moment it was just learning, learning, learning for all three of them. Then after I turned all of them off, because this is the current one that is just running right now because other ones had issues, and I wanted to do what you advised me to do and do the ad sets and try and like, put these in those assets and test those. Then this one started getting learning limited, but it still at least brought in one lead so far out of 20 clicks, but this is still fairly new. I'm still going to have to re-upload a new video in here. And the last thing I wanted to check was this is just more or less the geographic region. Just to make sure I'm not having anything weird going on that I am getting someone from a different place that I shouldn't be.
It would be in
So
the ad set section, MJ,
right,
but
right.
I'm pretty sure that you didn't do anything wrong. The way that it's kind of set up now on Facebook
Mhm.
is I don't think they necessarily give you an option anymore, where back in the day it would be like people living in, yeah, see where it says locations reach people living in or recently in this location. I guarantee
Mm,
you whatever lead that called and answered or whatever, they were recently in the location, but they don't live there. So they were probably in
uh,
that location.
yeah,
Back in the
yeah.
day, you could switch it. You can't switch it now.
Mhm.
But I just wanted to share that with you. So it's not
Okay.
something that you did wrong. It's not something that your targeting did wrong. You're spending your money properly. Nothing's broken.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's just two questions I had, the limited
And
learning
just
and this
to just to
location
let you
stuff.
know, I don't know if you did this on purpose, but Scarborough, Toronto only has a mile on it radius.
Oh, I literally just copied their previous targeting and I put the same thing in here.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I just was wanted to share that with you. So
yeah,
that's
yeah, I could get rid of it if it doesn't hurt anything. But yeah, that was all I had with the ads. I wanted to, do it to make maybe a second ad set and test out the images that I had created before. and put those in there and see how well those images do. And then also have this ad set for the video too as well, and just test those two and kind of see which one is working, just to make sure that at least the leads keep pouring in for the creatives. Everything is still kind of going to the lead form ads right now. I fixed that Facebook issue that I was putting on the group. What I didn't even call Go High Level. Like, I just thought to myself that I'll just delete the trigger, the Facebook form trigger that I had. I just created a new one and just piped the same thing, and I think it started working okay. I didn't even know that would work, but it started working okay, and it's been working okay so far. So yeah, I just need to test a few stuff and see where that goes.
In terms of this location, you might want to have a conversation with the business owner. I mean, I don't know their location and what they do, but maybe adding 25 would be better than just deleting it completely. There's probably a reason why they have that there. So that's one thing.
Oh, this was Aman, actually. So Aman sent me a screenshot of what he was doing for the age.
No, I'm talking about Scarborough, Toronto.
Oh, sorry. There.
How you have 1 mile.
Okay.
So perhaps there's a reason why they're targeting that. And so
Okay.
if you delete it, that might cause more damage than increasing the radius. So if that's an area that's important to them, it's probably better to increase the radius as opposed to just completely deleting this.
Okay.
Two, just so you know about limited learning, and for you and everybody else that's on this call, whenever you have something that says learning limited, this is so dumb by Facebook. But the way it is you have to get 50 conversions per ad set per week in order to get out of that. So let's say your cost per acquisition is $1,000. That means that you literally need to spend $50,000 a week for it to get out of the learning limit, which makes no sense. So just so you guys know, ignore that in the future. It's not important. How many leads do you have right now? And what offer are you running, actually? Can we have a look at the ad?
Yeah, for sure. So just to give a bit of clarification, so these two, so this video and this video, this was what did the most heavy lifting, this video. And between this one and this one, 13 leads came in. So this one that I'm currently only had just one. The other one had 13 come in. And the offer is,
Can you
Is
scroll
there-
to the left really quick?
okay,
I just want
Oh.
to see.
okay, left here.
Other way, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay. And then what were you gonna show us?
Okay.
Why did you turn that off, the video ad?
This one. So they had asked me to because it was causing issues where leads were coming in for what they were not actually trying to offer for this, which was a different treatment entirely. So I was having some of those, happen when someone calls, oh, I didn't know it was for, when my automation would go out and say, thank you for opting in for the laser hair removal. They're like, oh, I didn't know it was for laser hair removal. I still try to maybe convert some people. Is there any specific services you were needing anyways? Because at least it's a lead, so maybe I could still figure it out, but it wasn't working. So once I got this other video going, I turned this one off.
We have a look at the copy between that one and the one that you have right now, because it's a very big difference in terms of cost per lead and success.
Yes, it's the same. It's the same copy, same everything, just a different video. Like this video right now, like, I mean, this one has been running a bit longer than this one. I think this one, I can't remember how when I put this one up, but I would imagine that this one is probably doing better because it's them in their clinic, which is what I'm also trying to get them to do, to send more videos of them performing the service. So this is actually one of the estheticians actually performing a laser thing on someone. So it feels more relatable. So I just had to go look for like stock videos on.
Can you share the two different creatives?
Yes, I can. I'll probably send that to the group chat.
Seen this, just so you know, give you a heads up, that's what predominantly Aman's running. A lot of what he's running is like estheticians in the office doing the procedure.
Exactly. So I think that's probably why, if you were to ask me of whim, I think that's probably why it's doing better. And also, plus, this has probably been running for a lot less than, well, let's say a lot less. I only started doing it like a week. So maybe like this one has maybe 3 more days on this one, but I'll check it. Well, the copy is the same. I just have it as, where is it
I'm just
now?
wondering, like, is it a different service? Like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, same offer. Freedom laser hair removal, 20% off, plus 2 free touch-ups, plus 20 Vitalux credits, and this whole copy. The same on all creatives, actually, even the photos as well. And description too, also the same there.
So wait, why
Same
does the other
headline.
video bring in something different? I'm confused why the other video brings in something different. The copy's the same if everything is the
Yeah.
exact creative.
Let me come to it as well. I think this was it. Yeah, I wonder too. I wonder as well. But yeah, this is the video that's doing really well right now. Or the one I turned off, but yeah, exactly the same too.
This is the video that's doing really well.
Yeah, that was doing really well.
So if you have the same copy, if you have different creatives, it's not going to bring like the new creative is not going to bring in a different person looking for a different thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so
Understand.
that's the thing I don't like. I don't know. So because I'm wondering if people were looking at the video and just clicking on it, and they maybe they've seen the service before and they are relatable, they know it. And so once my automation goes, I don't know if they read this. That's the thing, I'm not sure. I don't know if they read this. They're just looking at the video and like, yeah, I want that, and they click on and they put in their name and their detail. Yeah, that I promise that's strange to me. I'm not too sure as well.
So hold on. So the procedure that's being performed is this what is this procedure that's being performed right now?
This is a laser peel.
Okay.
I think. Yes.
So Freedom laser removal, is that a laser peel or is that not a laser peel?
So it's the same machine, but the machine does a ton of stuff. So they had mentioned it does.
So it's showing. So what you're saying is it's showing a different service than what's being
Yes.
offered.
Yes.
So so the video is showing a laser peel, which is taking skin off. What they're trying to sell is laser hair removal.
Hair removal. Yes, exactly.
See, and so that means that the other video that you have, video ad laser hair versus waxing, that's obviously a video where that actually shows them.
Yes.
So
yes.
my question to you is this. So at the end of the day, you have to do what is going to get them the most customers.
Yeah.
We spoke about that through the voice note.
Yeah. Why can't we just do this if more people are clicking on this stuff? Right? Essentially, yeah, I was thinking about that too.
So what are they saying to that?
I haven't even asked yet, but I know he had asked me because he's open to working with me and like whatever I want to sell and the ideas I have, I should let them know. So
okay, awesome. I will just tell you, don't waste your money. You're hurting yourself right now.
Okay.
What you want to do is you want to have a conversation with him and you want to say, hey, John, again, he will trust you. Hey, John Doe, based off of the results that we're seeing, well, we've come to, so in my experience, it's, can I share my screen with you?
Yes. Could I switch you over to my phone?
Sure.
As yeah, we just finished off our work here. So I'm just gonna be looking at my phone screen as I'm heading out. Give me 1 second. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in my experience, when it comes to med spas, left to right, the most important thing is going to be your service. Yeah. Then it's going to be the offer, and then it's going to be the market. Service, offer, market. So what I mean by that is there's certain services that most people, like for example, weight loss is a service everybody's going to want. You know, laser peel is a service a lot of people are going to want. That's going to be much higher than I can't think of something right now, but like something in the beauty industry that's like a lot of people don't want. Like for example, money making offers. Like, hey, would you like to make more money with your business? It's a very high important thing. However, if I were to run an offer and say, hey, would you need to help you with your operations? Not a lot of videos are going to click on that. It's a much less desirable service. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Were you able to hear that, MJ?
Yes, it's a much less desirable. Can you hear me?
Offer. It's a much yes, it's a much less desirable like service, a much less desirable thing. I'm helping the marketplace. Hey, would you like help with getting leads in your business? Yes. Would you like help making more money? Yes. Would you like me to help you with your operations? Hell no. Nobody gives a crap about that. Would you like me to help you clean up your Excel? Nobody wants help with that, right? And so in your case, the service that is working is peels. And so what you're trying to do is you're trying to sell this thing, laser hair removal. And we spoke about this through the voice. That's what I was asking. I was like, hey, you want to make sure you open up the floodgates and sell the thing that most people are going to want. So what you need to do is have a conversation explaining like, hey, look, I understand what you're trying to do in terms of the laser hair removal. Based off of my research, based on what I've seen, you really want to focus on the peels. After the peels, what we must do is then upsell them a package that complements the peel, because usually what's happening is they're usually having some kind of a peel and then they're using more lasers. They're doing something else to help the skin. So usually they remove the layer of the skin and then they put something on there. And that's the high ticket thing. So the laser peel gets them in through the door. Then you sell the high ticket thing. And then you sell a membership. And a membership is where the main money is. So that's how you should be playing the game. And you have proven concept. You have proven concept in terms of like, I mean, it's crazy. You're telling me that you're hopping on a call and these people are telling you like, hey, do you have this thing that I can spend money on? You're like, no, don't give me your money. That's literally what you're doing. That's crazy.
I know.
So
I know.
does that make sense? That's what you have to do.
Yes, no, it does. It does. It does, because I knew that like it's based on the ad. This service was getting the most clicks, right? They were getting the most clicks. Now I haven't spoken with a ton of people because nobody, like again, like I said, when those messages get sent out, like when the automation gets sent out, I don't have a lot of people that respond. But I've had maybe two, three people that they thought it was a different service. So I have had that happen. And one of them, I was able to have a conversation with them to try and be okay. They wanted the laser peel thing, and I had the business owner communicate with them because they wanted to have like a Zoom consultation about it. So that still happened for one person. But you're right, is that I think the most people that are coming in for this service, and it's probably a better service that could bring leads. Because I told him he had about 80 products he said he wanted to sell. And in the discussion I had with him, I told him that maybe out of your 80, you only have like 5 of your bangers. Who knows? You won't be able to sell all 80 or have a campaign for all 80 products. You probably just have like maybe the 5 best things. Yeah.
I'm going to give you a cheat code. It's not about any of that. Okay. Here's how you want to be thinking about it. The front end offer at the ad level, the $47, $197, the entire purpose of that is simply to get people in for as cheap as possible. You can break even, you can make a 1.5x. It doesn't really matter. Then when it comes to the package, that you're taking it to maybe like a 3x if they can sell it. But that's not where the moneymaker is. The moneymaker is in the membership. So you basically mix and match everything on the front end. So it's not about, hey, I want to sell this 20 thing, I want to sell that. No. You just get them in, and then what you do is you bombard them with retargeting to sell them membership. When I say retargeting, you're going to do emails, you're going to do SMS, you're going to say, there's some cool stuff. If you want to message me, I'll send you some stuff that me and Aman are working on. But basically, we email that we'll send them, hey, we have this free thing. Do you want it? They all respond back, yeah, I want it. They click on it. It takes them into a funnel. That funnel is a sales page. And that sales page, what we do is we basically sell them on a membership that's like $97 a month. The average client, here's the crazy part. The average client that signs up for a membership, they stay on for 40 months. The average LTV is $4,000. It is a churn rate of 2%. So in other words, you make way more money from the membership than you do from the package or anything else. All you're trying to do is funnel people into the system and then sell the membership.
Yeah. Well, that's
what he's trying to do in terms of removing all that stuff, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying, because I'm like, once you have something that is bringing all the leads in, that's always going to be your thing. And then once at least the leads are pouring in, everything else is the back end. It's not going to be selling a new. Sure, you could probably have maybe a campaign or two that you want to run or whatever the case may be. But like I was thinking about it, like Planet Fitness or whatever, they have all these things going on with their memberships and all that, but you never hear about it. They always have their $1 campaign that they run every so often, because that's the thing that works. It's what gets people into the door every single time. And then when you come in, they sell you on everything else. You get to see their yoga class, their this class. They're never talking about the classes before you come in. So that's the same idea that I thought about. Like, I know you have 80 products, but you probably never sell all of them. You probably just have one that keeps doing the same thing that it needs to do, which is just bringing leads pouring, and then your back end systems with the packages, and now you just mentioned the membership too is what literally increases the LTV for the clients there. So yeah, that's well, I didn't know about the membership part, but that's where my mind was going in terms of kind of what you're saying right now. Yeah.
If I were to give you an analogy, there's our low ticket, like when you join us, there's a low ticket program for $47. Then there's a page where we sell something for $397, and then there's the coaching program, right? The $47 is analogous to the ad that you're running. My $397 offer is analogous to the package that they will sell when they come in. My coaching program is analogous to the membership. It's all about the membership.
Yeah.
So frame your mind. All your mind should be focused on is how do I sell membership? How do I sell memberships? That's it. And so the front end, you pretty much never need to change the front end
Yeah.
once you have
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pretty much never need to just focus on the back end.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hopefully that
That
gives
makes a
you
lot of
clarity.
sense to me.
So in terms of call to action, have a conversation with them, educate them on this, and then go back to running the ads you were. And then all of your time and energy, MJ, very simple. Focus on converting the people that come from that. So try a bunch of different texting and scripts and voice notes and all that stuff. And then eventually you're going to figure out how to get them through the door. And then from there, you're smooth sailing.
Yeah. That makes sense to me. That makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch this, but I think I always say that. I will watch back the recorded meeting. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense to me. Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Any other questions, MJ?
Yeah, I think that's it for me. That's it for me.
Last thing I want to let you know, that video I sent you, it is a lot of tough love, okay? So prepare for it. It's a lot of tough love. Okay. So just give me that.
No problem. No problem. I will.
All right, MJ.
Thanks.
Keep us
All right.
posted, okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right. Rodarte.
Hey, Koshik, how are you?
How are you, man?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Yep.
Ads are launched. They're I got no leads and 1 click.
How much have you spent?
$22.81.
Okay.
I have the KPIs, but I mean, there's not much there as far as numbers.
Can we have a so 22, so that's expensive, man, for a click, dude. That's expensive. Are you tried multiple ad sets, different kinds of things, or just like one ad set so far, or
I have, let's see,
is this a
Two
lead
ad-
form or is this going to a funnel?
this is a funnel. I have 2 ad sets, each with 2 ads.
Okay.
So yeah, something's not working.
You want to pull up your screen real quick?
Yeah.
Give me just a second, Rota. I'll be right back, okay? 2 minutes.
Okay.
Daniel,
Yeah.
so for that automation, in terms of like people still getting that message after 30 minutes, you can create another workflow. Actually, let's take a back step really quick. So are you sending people a discovery call link, or like how are you booking the discovery calls now? Like what does that automation look like?
Well, what I wanted and the way I set it up was it was just a link to the calendar that we created that we called it Mason's calendar.
Okay.
And I wanted just a phone call, but that calendar goes to a Zoom link because this is just a discovery call. So I don't want people to be turned off by it being a Zoom call so quick, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's an issue.
No, that makes sense. So you're
Um,
having people book a phone call with you?
That's what I wanted, but I just learned that because I tested it out my wife and myself that we're getting Zoom links for it.
Gotcha.
So I guess I have to create a different calendar then.
Yeah. Like the way that I kind of like to do it for like the discovery call is like, this is for the HVAC thing, right? I just want to make
Yeah.
sure that I'm okay.
Yes.
So I don't necessarily really make people book discovery calls. I just kind of have them like when I'm on the phone with them. So once I call the lead after they filled out the form, that's when I have the discovery call. And then I have them book the sales call. I don't have anyone ever book a discovery call. So it's more along the
Yeah.
lines of like, lead form, like what you're doing is you're trying to do like a lead form or like whatever, right? And then they go to schedule the discovery call. Then you have a 15-minute call with them. And then you could do another 15 or not another 15, but however long your sales call is going to be. So like what I'm saying is like once I get that lead, that name, email, phone number from the lead form or for wherever you're getting it from, I call them, and then that call right there is the discovery call. And if they don't have the time to like necessarily talk right now, because usually what I say is like, hey, do you have a quick 15 minutes? I just got your information. I just wanted to see if I could ask a couple questions to see if we could help out and tell you a little bit more about our offer, right? If they say
Yeah.
no, it's like, okay, well, when can I call you back today to do that?
Yeah, that's what I initially thought, but on one of the group calls that Coach sent me the link to, he's like, drawing on the screen and saying like it goes to a calendar, and that's the way the ads and the funnel the funnels that I've been looking at, it's scheduling a call on a calendar.
Yeah, so that would be considered, okay, I know what you're getting at now. So that would be considered the sales call, but you would still have that touch point, that discovery call between there and then. Does that make sense? Because I think that's where I was losing the connection between
Okay,
what
so-
you're doing and what you're trying to do. Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to make two calendars right now. You're trying to make a discovery call calendar and a sales call calendar. So in this particular funnel, what you're doing is you run your ad, and then that calendar is technically your sales call calendar, right? And then between that actual call and getting their information, you have the discovery call by just calling them on the phone.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like, did I?
Yeah,
Did I
yeah.
say that
So,
right?
so in the case of what if they're available like that day? And they schedule they schedule, what they don't know is the sales call that day. Do I call them, like how would that work as far as
Let me clarify this just because we got a lot going on here. Add to calendar page to thank you page. What Mason is saying is true, where sometimes, and this is what I would do as well, when people book it out on my calendar, I consider that my sales call. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have a call in between. And then if they're not a good fit, I'm just going to cancel that. That's what I do. And what Mason is saying is true. The way it's designed for you guys, though, is that's a little bit more advanced. So it is designed where it's an ad, and whoever books with you, it is a discovery call. And then if they are a good fit, then you schedule them for another one. So it's a 2-step instead of a 1-step. So what Mason is saying is true. And what I'm saying is true. It's advanced, but it is designed for an ad to discovery call to sales call. So Mason, just a heads up, the funnel that they all have, it's ad to discovery call to sales call. It's a 2-step.
Okay.
So should I just make it the 1-step then, or the just the book to the calendar?
Keep doing what you're doing. I don't even know or think you have to have 2 calendars. I think 1 calendar is fine. Like whatever. So add calendar page. Thank you. If they say they're good, they want to have a conversation. So again, let's imagine somebody clicks on an ad, they go to your calendar page, they book a call, they go to the thank you page. You hit them up. Hey, looking forward to have a conversation. Do you have a quick 5 minutes right now? So let's say they book something out for, Wednesday, and today's Monday. They literally booked it out. Hey, dude, I saw that you booked this thing out. I have a few minutes right now. Would you be open to having a conversation? If so, I can hop on. Boom. You call them. Now you've done the discovery call, even though the discovery call has been booked out for Wednesday. Have that call. You can do the discovery call, and you're like, okay. And then let's say they want to move forward. Okay, great, man. So you got something booked out on Wednesday, dude. I'll see you on Wednesday.
Got it. That makes sense.
Or you text them and say, hey, dude, I'm available right now. They say, no, dude, I can't do till Wednesday. Awesome, dude. I'll see you on Wednesday. Wednesday, you have a call with them. That's your discovery call. And then if they say, yeah, you go back in your calendar, get something booked out on your end for them. So you can use
Okay, but I was telling Mason when you stepped away, the discovery call calendar, when they book a discovery call, it gives them a Zoom link. So is that so if they say no, I'm only available on the day Wednesday, like you said, the discovery call is a Zoom call, or should I just call them on the phone and say, like, or you know what I mean? Because my concern was I didn't want a Zoom link to be sent out and that be like pushing too hard. Like, oh no, I don't want a Zoom call.
Make your calendar a phone call. Don't make it a Zoom call. Your ad should go to a calendar that is a phone call, not a Zoom call. Because yeah, maybe that's something that scares some people. Like, oh shit, I don't want to hop on a Zoom call. I don't really know this guy yet. So yeah, 100%.
Okay. So then in that case, I would create another calendar that's just for the just for the funnel, right? For when they make a call, or when they schedule when they book their own call, it's just a phone call. And then if I get them on the phone and book a sales call, it'll be a different calendar to send them the link.
Yeah, you can do it that way. Yeah, that's what you would want to do fundamentally.
Okay. Okay.
Just for some context, Daniel, what stage are you at right now? Just so I have some clarity on the conversations going on.
What do you
Like,
mean by
is-
stage?
Like what's the funnel for? Is it
I know what he's asking. So you're Cam, so you're at the stage. Nice to meet you, by the way. I haven't seen your face.
nice to meet you too?
Um,
Yeah.
So the phase that Rodarte's at is where he's niched down now. He's gone through
Okay.
the free video commercial that you're currently going to do and going through.
Right.
So the way that the funnel works between your funnel and Daniel's funnel is essentially a little bit different. So we're talking
Okay,
about
okay.
different funnels, so it's kind of might be a little bit confusing for you right now.
No, that's okay. That makes it more
Yeah.
clear that it's different. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a different funnel, that's all. Or like a different structure of the funnel and how it actually works from going from call to call or from ad to blah, blah, blah.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Thank you.
And the problem that Daniel's trying to solve, which, you know, he might solve for you beforehand. I mean, you're thinking about it a little bit different if you're going to a different industry, but the problem that we're trying to solve, which is a very crucial problem, this is the moneymaker problem. This is the $1 million question, which is how do you get your counter book? So right now he's built his funnel out, right? So he created some kind of an offer that he thinks would work. He shot his videos and everything. Now what we're doing is we're just testing. We're saying, okay, how do we get these calls booked? And so right now, the problem that he has is it's costing $20 to get a single click, which I think is too expensive. So now it's like, okay, well, what's the problem? Let's figure out, do we need to change up the ad? Do we need to change up the targeting? What do we need to change up in order to get these calls booked? So that's kind of where me and Daniel are. And once we get past this bottleneck, now it's going to be smooth sailing in terms of like figuring out his sales process.
Okay. And is this funnel to get HVAC owners to you, or you got a client now and now you're trying to get customers for an HVAC owner?
No, it's to get a HVAC owner to sign
Okay,
on.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, cool. Thank you. I think I'm good. I don't want to pause the conversation too much. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. Yeah, so that's cleared up with the calendar. Thank you. And then, like what you just said, what the problem was, I believe it is the targeting.
Let's have a look at your stuff, man. Share your
Okay.
screen. Let's have a look at first of all, let's like just run through your campaign ad set and ad setup internally let's just see if maybe there's something we're clicking on or something we have selected that maybe we can change.
Okay. Where's the funnel? So this is the niche ad here. Do you want me to scroll through that?
Can you click on edit?
Where is it at?
If you hover right underneath, yeah,
Oh, okay.
this would be kind of, I just want to see your campaign settings.
So then this keeps popping up, right? Like,
Don't worry about that.
yeah, it's usually telling me to like let Facebook, do the targeting for me.
Yeah, don't worry about that little thing. So
Okay.
so you've selected leads, auction. Okay, let's keep scrolling down. Cool. So campaign setup looks fine. Let's click on the ad set. So website, let's keep scrolling down. Maximize number of leads. HVAC lead, that looks fine. $15 a day, cool.
Right here.
Yeah, don't worry about that stuff. Again, I mean, not that don't worry about it, but like right now I'm literally doing some testing where I'm using Advantage audience versus the original, and I'm trying to figure out like what works. Okay, so let's look at your custom. So you've got some exclusions. Good. United States. Okay, good. 30. Okay, so okay. Men, women. Okay, detailed targeting. Okay, education.
So there's no like HVAC business owner as like a like a preset or whatever. So I'm like going through all of these like HVAC installer, HVAC tech, HVAC technician, foreman, installer.
Okay. So one of the first ones so you have to just kind of be like mindful and careful about which ones you select. So one of the ones that you selected was HVAC as an employer. If you scroll up to the top. So employers HVAC, the second one. So that one you don't want an employee, you want an owner.
Right.
But
So an employer would hire employees, right? That's what I was thinking. Is like this is probably an owner. No.
No, so this is saying that their employer is in HVAC. So that means that they are an employee.
Okay, got it.
I don't think this is like gonna make or break anything. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that that's like the big hitter, but like that's just something important to know. So I would get rid of that.
So do I make changes on this, or do I create a new like you were saying, don't touch it? Like
Let's
like
keep
we-
scrolling. Let's just see what else we got here.
okay.
So you got a employers, HVAC technician. Okay, keep scrolling. Okay, let's keep scrolling down. Let's see what else you got. Okay, so you got just feed. So I'm gonna give you some more placements to run it on. I have them somewhere not on me, so I'm gonna message these to you.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go into your so which one got the click, the video or the image?
I'm not sure, to be honest. How do I look at that? Is it
I'm sorry.
how do I see that? I'm not sure which one got the click.
So if you go ahead and close out of this, that this screen should tell you. So it looks like that second ad set did. So let's go ahead and click on edit when it comes to that second ad set. Okay, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. So you're doing an ad set for stories and an ad set for feeds, just like the other stuff. Okay. Okay, so you don't need to do that. Again, this is just a small change. This is not going to create any big change. Like this is not the heavy hitter. This is not what's causing the issues. But you can have an ad set. We have both. You want to have ads. So you want to have one ad set, and then you want to have ads in there. They should all be 1080 by 1080. And you can go and select stories, feeds, and all that stuff within the ad set. You don't need to break one ad set into stories and one into feed. You don't need to do that.
Okay.
Does that make sense, Rodarte?
Yeah, I guess I thought I was following along with the portal video, like of how watching your ad. Maybe I missed a step
No,
or
it's
something.
okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
The way you set it up is how we set it up for the 6 weeks. I'm just telling you for the future, that doesn't apply for this. You can have one ad set, throw all of your ads in there. It's not that
Got
serious.
it.
Okay, so what I want to do, so this is the one that got the click. So let's go ahead and click on story image ad on the left. Yep. Let's just see what you got there. So turn 100 leads into 20 clients in 30 days. Let's click on the ad that's right below that one.
Where?
So right to your left where it says story video ad.
Oh.
So I assume this is the one that you're playing within your feeds as well.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, scroll down so we can have a look at your copy. So HVAC business owners get 100. Please delivers. Stop screen. Stop. Okay. Let's keep scrolling. Text generation. What is this stuff?
I have no idea. This is like AI stuff. I don't know.
Okay. Turn at least 100 leads into 20 clients in 30 days. Okay. Let's keep scrolling. Let's double check that. Where's the link to your funnel? I think you put that into the ad somewhere of acorns.org. Is that where you're driving traffic to?
Yeah.
And is that your opt-in page?
Yes.
again, this is not a big thing this is not something that's gonna make a big difference, but you definitely want to have slash opt-in. You don't want to drive it just to that. You specifically want to have a page and make sure you have the URL just for a specific page for the future.
Yeah, I thought, I mean, it's there. Let me see. So
Yeah.
it,
You should be driving traffic to that. Go to ofacorns.org or whatever your other thing was.
oh, this is .net. It's showing. Oh, this is the, never mind. This is the one that wasn't working.
Okay.
Let me go back. Sites. What's going on here? This is the one where I had to make a new domain. Okay, so opting. Can I just cancel that out, or
You can change the title really quick. Can you just go type into the URL browser, like the link you're driving traffic to? Just so we can kind of see real quick. So it does take you to the same page, right? Good.
yeah?
So it's not, we're not having an issue where they're just like ending up somewhere dumb.
Another thing is, so this is the agency. So like I just thinking I should probably go ahead and create an HVAC Instagram and Facebook, right? Instead
Yeah.
of like making it so it's so like this is what I do is HVAC business.
Yeah, we spoke about this a few months back. We were talking about like branding, and I was talking.
Yeah, I've done it. I have it, but I just haven't like posted anything. It's just like a bare bones.
All right, it's not.
So I
Yeah,
didn't.
I wouldn't spend your time and energy necessarily focus on that right now. but
Okay.
back to that. Okay, so so we've had a look at everything. So you tell me and Mason, what do you think the issue is and why?
Well, I think it's the targeting, and I think well, two things. I was told, you know, don't do a lead gen form, but I think maybe that's the way to go. Is, well, if I'm getting one click, I guess it really doesn't matter. So maybe that's not it. But
Wait, why did you suggest that in the first place? Why are you
because
suggesting?
it's like a free lead. There's no, I feel like people are more inclined to just not forget about it when they're going to like if you're going from Facebook to like someone's website funnel, people are more likely to just exit out that and go next. Like they're not interested. It's easier to get a lead than it is to someone to go through your funnel.
But if you consider your bottleneck, where is your bottleneck?
Well, I only have one click, so that's the bottleneck.
Exactly. So the bottleneck is not necessarily where they go. The bottleneck is the click.
Okay, so then it's targeting. Must be, right?
What else could it be?
Copy. I mean, I'm like just I've copied the copy from like other places and like just kind of like tweaked a little bit. So I didn't think it was the copy.
Yeah. What it is, I think it could, I mean, it could be the targeting, man, where we can try a few different things. Like you can have, you know, again, if you want to test this out, if you want to test out your theory, you could have like 4 ad sets and you can have like one interest here. You can leave this one open. You can have, you know, more interest on this one. You can have something where like it's not necessarily even HVAC, but it's like what kind of things would HVAC business owners like be into? Like what kind of magazines would they be into? What kind of things do they know about? So for me, for example, I oftentimes will target uh uh I will target oftentimes what's it software. So Adobe Premiere, Adobe Creative Cloud, all that stuff. So I don't even target, I'm just targeting that because I know they know that, and that works for me. So that's one thing you can do if you want to test out your theory of targeting. So you might want to write that down. That's like something we can test out. My thing is I think it's the ad.
Okay.
The reason I think that is because I think Facebook is smart enough that even if you kind of screw up the targeting, it's still going to show it to the right person. That's what I think. And so what does that mean? That means what is in an ad? Is it your thumbnail? Is it your headline? Is it your offer? Is it the intro to your video? What is it? I don't know. I couldn't tell you until we have to like test that out until we figure that out. Is it interviewing another HVAC business owner? Like that's what it was for Riviera. Like we tried talking head stuff, it didn't work. But when the moment he's interviewing another business owner and we ran that creative, oh, all of a sudden it worked. So that's my theory. But again, there's no way to know until we just like test more stuff. We spend more money, test more stuff, test out multiple variables. So one thing we can do, my starting point suggestion would be this. If you want to rule out targeting, let's start there. And let's maybe have, whatever you feel comfortable with, $10 a day for each one. $5, $10. And then ideally, what I'd love to see is I'd love to see like $5 clicks. Let's look at what your unique click-through rate is, by the way.
You're asking me for that now?
Yeah. So if you close out of this, we can have a look at your if you go back to your ads.
What am I doing? This?
Yep. Close out of that, and then so your unique click-through rate is 0.51%, which, I'd love to see it at like 1%. 1%, 1.5%. So this is telling me that the people that are seeing your ad, very small percentage of them are clicking. Granted, I mean, dude, you spent $22. So
The CPM is really high though, as well. So it's like, in realisticness, it's like you spent $22, but you only reached like what? 200-ish people.
let's go to the right and see the reach.
So it's like 1 out of 200, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
So another thing that, yeah, Mason brings up a solid point, which is like, the CPM is high, sure, and sometimes it's really high for these ads for these people. But it could just be that like, dude, maybe we just only showed it to 200 people. Like that's like nothing,
it's like 1 out of 200 people clicked.
Yeah. So maybe if you spend like $50, what we'll come to find is like your cost per click goes down to like $10. You spend $50, maybe your cost per click goes down like $5. Now it's like, oh, that's pretty healthy. So
Okay.
a few different things you can do. Option one is just sit it and forget it and let this spend like $50 and keep us updated. Option two, if you want to be more proactive, is launch a few more ad sets relatively cheap, $10 a day, and try out different targeting. And then this way we can kind of see what's going on at a faster pace. Because if you kind of sit on your hands, I mean, you're spending like what, $15 a day on this?
20 or 30 bucks a day.
Yeah. So, by tomorrow you should see something. Granted though, the other thing to consider is that you've got 2 ad sets launched. So you've really not spent $20, you spent $40 so far.
Well, it's
Just filter all time really quick.
it's 15 for each ad set.
Oh, okay. So how much have you spent total?
$22, 22.
Did you just launch this today?
No, you know what happened was one wasn't published. Like I don't know what happened. I had to review and publish it just before the call. So this one just got published.
Okay. So yeah, it goes back to the same thing. Option one is just let it rip for another 1-2 days. Let's see what happens. Option two is if you want to create some more ad sets and just to spend more money to get results faster and test out different targeting in case you think that's the issue, in case you think that is an issue. Right now, for me, as I look at it, I'm like, it's too early to say anything or see anything. That's kind of what's brewing in my head.
Okay. And then when I make changes, do I like you're saying the targeting, right? So
At this point, I wouldn't mess with it, man.
no, well, I guess what I'm saying are the when I do make changes, like you were saying, well, if you're saying not to do it, then I won't. But you're saying to get rid of the employer for
Yeah.
targeting.
Yeah.
Do I exit out of here, or do I stop this ad and create and duplicate it, and then exit out the new one and not run the other one?
So what I would do in your particular case is just because you have these 2 ad sets already going, just because you already have these ad sets going, let's just not lose the momentum. Let's just keep these going. And then in the future, like if you duplicate this ad set, just duplicate the ad set and then tweak up the target in the new ad set and just let these 2 stay the way
Okay.
they are.
Got it. And then from now on, just leave the one ad set with so like these 4 ads should be under one ad set.
Yeah, you can throw all 4 ads. I mean, you have a story. So, I mean, it's 2 basically different creatives, right? That's all it is. It's like one is like a photo,
Yeah.
one's so basically you should have 1 photo and 1 video that are both 1080 by 1080 that are within one ad set, and that ad set should be on Facebook feeds, Instagram stories, Facebook stories, a few different placements.
Okay.
That's what I would be doing if I were you. So if you launch a few different ad sets, that's what you want to do moving forward. And again, I will text you, I will message you the different placements you want to set up for the next ad sets.
Okay. And then so obviously my theory in the lead gen form rather than a funnel is it's not really proven right now because I only got 1 click, so I don't really know what I was talking about.
I don't really know what the fuck I'm talking about, but um that's funny. I don't know why that cracks me up. But yeah, so the reason I wouldn't do the lead form, Rodarte, is like, again, you want to always view it that way. I think that's an important lesson. Just like view at like understand where the bottleneck is and solve that bottleneck. Don't think 2-3 steps ahead. And that's one reason is like, okay, let's figure out the problem at hand, which again, we don't even know if we have a problem. It might be completely fine. Sunshine and rainbows here in like 2-3 days. But the second reason is why is because our market research is telling us that there's no lead form ads. That's the primary reason, actually. And I'm a big advocate. If you want to test it out, like by all means, go for it. If you want to, go for it. It's up to you.
Okay.
What else is brewing in your head?
Going back to the calendars. So right now I told you how the calendar is like you go through the funnel, you book a discovery call, it gives you a Zoom link. So I'm gonna create a new calendar for a discovery call being booked just a phone call. They don't give them a Zoom link. And then when they do book it, they are still regardless sent a reminder 30 minutes later saying, hey, you didn't book a call, like what gives kind of a thing.
Wait, say that part again.
So someone goes through the funnel, they go ahead and click a discovery call. The way it's set up now, they book a discovery call, and then my workflow, the automations, I have it so 30 minutes later it sends like a text and an email saying, hey, you went through the funnel, but I noticed you didn't schedule a call. Like what's holding you back?
No. What you want to do is the moment they book a call, you've won. There's nothing else.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, how do I
Yeah.
make that? How do I get rid of that automation when they do book a call? That's my question.
Gotcha. So that's something you can work with Mason. What I'm simply saying is that the automation should be like, hey, congratulations on booking a call. Looking forward to have a conversation with you. They should receive something automatic, and then you should be manually messaging and say, hey, John, saw that you opted in. And what Aman will say is like, hey, can I get a link to your website so I can check you out or something like that? Or hey, like whatever, starting a conversation, getting a micro commitment. And then what he does from there is like, awesome, how to look. Actually, I've got a few months. I know that our call is booked out for tomorrow at this time, but I actually got a few minutes right now. If you're available, if you are, happy to give you a quick ring. So you're just trying to hop on that call as soon as possible.
Got
So
it.
that's what you should be doing. And your automations and everything should be set up for that.
Okay.
Eventually down the road, if you continue to run this funnel, maybe they'll say, hey, congratulations. I'm looking forward to having a conversation with you. Also, check out this video if you haven't yet. Maybe there's a video that you have them watch before they have a conversation with you. Again, we'll figure that stuff out down the road to nurture them better.
Okay.
So, but that question that you asked, that's a Mason question. I don't know if you and Mason want to work through that or if you guys want to do that afterwards.
Yeah, Mason. Whatever Mason has.
It's whatever you want to do. I think the only thing that may have tricked you up is the way that it was set up in the free video commercial funnel is a little bit different than what you're doing now. Like that's why there is that like if else statement, right? So like I have that 30-minute thing being set up between the opt-in form and the application. Does that make sense? So in the funnel
Yeah.
that you're using right now, you don't have the opt-in form and the application. You're kind of missing that application step. And that's kind of the point of the discovery call, to kind of use that as the application, if that makes sense. So in the current automation that you have right now, you still have that part. So if I can, here, let's see. Can you see my screen?
I know I'm still sharing mine,
Can you guys see my screen?
I can, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it should just be like your calendar being booked. That should be the trigger. And then your create opportunity will then move them into a different stage in the pipeline. Like, don't use this as an example, but like copy this, right? So it should be consultation booked, create or update opportunity, and then you can send an internal notification to yourself. Okay, so like for this one, I just have a text message to someone, right, that says when the appointment time was scheduled and booked. And then after I get that message to my phone, that's when I can do that manual message of like what other Daniel does, and sends them like the, oh, can I see your website and stuff too? And that's how you're notified to do that. And then this is how you can just send them like reminders. So you would add a wait, right? Depending on, again, it kind of depends on how you want to do it, because if you call them immediately, right, then it's like that booked call will be your sales call. And if they don't answer, then it will be your discovery call at that given time and date. Right. So
Right.
maybe necessarily wouldn't build this out if you plan on calling them, which I would heavily do anyway. So that's not really actual advice. So I wouldn't even make these wait things necessarily. I would, if you wanted to, go ahead and create that second calendar and then do this and add the waits. And then have the trigger be the different calendar being booked. So like you could call this one your discovery call calendar, discovery / sales call calendar. Then you can have another one just be your sales call calendar, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's what I would do. So currently in the automations that you have, I gotta figure out how to like fucking draw shit on this, because this is so much easier to like draw so you can see. But right now, what you probably have, Daniel, is like you have this trigger. You probably have create opportunity. Then you probably have these wait steps. Just get rid of all that wait, get rid of all of the wait steps and everything. Because right now what you're doing is they're booking the call and then you're still sending them like, hey, why haven't you booked the call? When that shouldn't be in there. So probably what you did is you probably copied the free video commercial workflow and then kind of use it for this, because the funnel is different. This is going to be different as well. And then if you need help executing that, I have no problem with like building something out for you and showing you how I did it.
And then one other thing is my emails. So, and I don't want to waste too much time on everyone's call here to go over to the tech stuff. Like we can maybe talk this week, or but I'll just let you know my emails, like they're going out, they're blank, and in the workflow automations, they're not. Like I have text saying like, hey, thanks for booking a call or whatever, but like my email, my wife's email, it's nothing's there.
Send me a Loom video of what the email you're sending says.
Okay.
Just send me a Loom video of like, hey, this is the trigger to everything, and then this is what the email says. And then I'll be able to take a look from there.
Okay.
Sorry to cut in, guys, but I think I had something. I'm not too sure the exact thing, but on the calendar settings where you have the booking, where you kind of have like a calendars, and then you could go to calendar settings. Like I think there's a little checkbox that says send this automation. Like it has its own little automation. At least that was screwing me up when I was and I was like, it's not in my automations tree branch. Like, how is this even being sent out? And then it was in the calendar settings for that thing, and it drove me nuts. But
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
He's talking about this right here. So if you go into your calendar and you go into notifications and additional options, these might be checked and these might be checked, I just detach them and I let go of them, and then I let my automations do everything. But
Okay.
that's probably not what your issue is, Daniel, because your issue is that there's nothing even being sent in the emails. So I don't think that's your issue.
Yeah, we're getting the email. There's just nothing in the email. Like it's just a blank. But it's branded in the sense it's got like the colors and all that, but there's no text.
Hey, Daniel, that happened to me. Are you using templates?
Um no, I think I like wrote it out and had
Okay,
like
then I don't know
yeah.
then.
Yeah, just send me a Loom video and then let me
Okay,
take a look at it.
we'll do.
Rodarte, what else you got for us, man?
Let me see. That's it. I mean, the rest is tech questions, which I'll go over the Loom video with Mason. But no, that's it. I got some good advice, or as far as like what to do next.
Cool. One thing is when I was looking at your calendar page, I don't think it's an issue right now. I mean, that's not, we don't even know if it's an issue, right? Which we've discussed. But if you look at the other guys' calendars, man, they're like really simple. And so with you, there's like a lot of color, and it can get lost in if you pull yours up.
You want me to share my screen or no?
Yeah, you can share your screen.
Um,
Oh, is this your calendar page?
yeah.
Oh, no, that's fine then. I was looking at probably your thank you page then. Or was I looking at your thank you page? Oh shit. Okay. Oh, dude, you're driving traffic to an opt-in page. You're driving traffic to that page, the opt-in page, and the upper. Yeah, you don't. And so open that up. Yeah, you don't want to be driving traffic to this page. You want to be driving traffic. Go back. You want to be driving traffic to this discovery call page. It's add discovery call page. Thank you page.
Discovery call page is just a calendar.
Yeah. Let me I will share a few members funnels with you. Give me a second here.
But this is where they opt in. So I guess I'm totally confused.
So if you give me a second here. When it comes to the niche funnel, we're not going to an opt-in page. We're going directly to a calendar page.
Do we have hey Koshi, do we have a template for like a niche funnel? Should we make that?
I think so. That's a good idea.
Okay.
So can you guys see my screen?
Oh, hang on, I'm sharing my.
So
I can see it.
these are a few of the members funnels, right? So someone's funnel, for example, the ad goes directly to this page right here. So this is another crucial part. So you can watch this part back if you want to watch this part back, Rodarte. You want to make sure you have your headline here, your offer. You want to make sure that, again, you can copy it or you can pause this and tweak it to make yours to make it work for you. And then below, everybody's just kind of got this like small little thing. So that's what Aman's page looks like. If I hop into Tony and Adam, they've added some additional stuff. I would not model their stuff. But initially what it looked like was just this. So they didn't have the stuff above, which I actually should talk to these guys about. I would not recommend that, by the way. This stuff should be at the bottom of your funnel, not the top of the page. This is what the top of the page should look like. You can even get rid, they should probably not even have this. These guys. So headline, calendar, as you can see, this part's important. This part's really important. So again, they have some additional stuff, but again, they have these three things at the bottom. Give you another one. This is what Rivieras page looked like back when we were trying to go to a funnel. Same thing, headline, calendar, one last one. Jorge. So that's the pattern, right? All of them should be this pattern right here. So yeah, I guess you do have to tweak up your ad sets in your ad right now. So after we hop off, you want to make sure you drive traffic to this and not that. So so in terms of step by step, what you need to do, step one is like just edit up your calendar, make sure it's a discovery call, not a Zoom call. Step two is tweak up the page, make sure it's clean, something like this. Again, you can reference this call at the section an hour and 30 minutes in to see some of these. And then change up the link within your ad to go to these pages. So those are the changes that you need to make in chronological order.
Okay, so there is no opt-in page at all.
No.
How did I
The
miss that? What did I
reason-
don't know what to do.
Yeah, the reason we're getting rid of the opt-in page is just like for you guys, because it's hard enough. It's hard enough to get somebody to book a call. I'm trying to remove all the friction for you guys where it goes from ad directly here, boom. And then down the road, once you guys have proven your ads, you've proven everything, then what we'll do is we'll go and add an opt-in page if you want. The only reason for the opt-in page, Rodarte, is so that, okay, now your automation makes sense. Okay, the reason your automation makes sense is because you set up your automation for them to opt in and if they don't book a call. Does that make sense? So that's why the automation doesn't make sense, because they come right here and they book it. There should be no automation that says, hey, what's holding you back and da 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 da. Your thing actually makes sense because you're driving traffic to an opt-in page and not a calendar page. Hopefully this is coming full circle now.
Okay, so they don't become a lead. So the way I had it was they become a lead and then they schedule. The way you have it is they schedule and that makes them a lead.
So they schedule and then everybody goes to a thank you page. So again, this is if we look at Riviera's calendar, so ad comes to this calendar page, somebody comes in here, schedules a time, then they go to this thank you page. And on the thank you page, it's lead. So yeah, technically this is what we're calling a lead. And this is just view content, or you don't have to even put anything on. I mean, you should put view content. Does that make that big difference?
Okay, and then when I make these changes on the ads manager, do I just like stop those ads and then do another one?
Yeah.
Or do I make the edits in there?
So at this point, you can, because it's such a draft. So the reason I don't like to touch things is just because once the ball gets rolling, I just want to see things. It takes some time to figure something stuff out. But like your stuff, if we change the link out, it's going to screw it up entirely. It's going to screw up your ad set entirely. It's going to be, you're like shocking it. And so you might as well just like turn off those ad sets actually. Just start from scratch.
Okay.
Just duplicate your ad sets. So you would duplicate one of your ad sets. You would change up the placement so that stories and feeds and all that stuff. You would throw in your 2 ads in there. You would drive traffic to your calendar page.
And then since I'm doing it again, the targeting, do I just let Facebook do it or do I do what I did earlier?
It's up to you. You can do what would you be interested in doing something where you're testing out 4 different ad sets with different targeting, or do you want to just like do what you did?
Yeah. I
wanna do
want to figure out what's going on faster.
Okay, so if you want to figure out what's going on faster, then I would recommend having 4 different ad sets like we spoke about. You can have one that's open. You can have one that you do crazy targeting like you did with yours. You can have one that's like a bunch of stuff that HVAC business owners are interested in. Yeah, and you can have one which is like maybe like just one interest or something like that. It's up to you.
Okay, and these are the 4 you're talking about are ad sets, not one ad set and 4 ads. Okay.
4 ad sets. Each of those ad sets are going to contain the exact same 2 ads.
And then how much would you recommend on each budget on each ad set?
I'd say about $10 a day on each one. And then
Yeah.
by day 3, actually not day 2, by day 3, we should see what's going on. At that point, you spend about, actually by the end of day 2, let us know. You can what you can do, sorry, I keep changing my words. You can let us know what's happening at the end of day 1, at the end of day 2, at the end of day 3.
Okay. Got it.
Man, that was a close. I'm glad we caught that one.
Yeah, I just don't know how I missed that. Like, what did I do that? Because I was following the directions on every video.
Dan, you don't know what you're doing, bro. You know what you're talking about.
I don't. But seriously, I mean, I'm like, everyone's on the same page except for me. So where did I go wrong?
It's all good.
Fuck.
Hey, it was $20. It's not that serious. You'll be all right.
All right. So I got some work to do. Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully you feel better though. I mean, like I said, I mean, good news is nothing's broken. I'm not seeing anything crazy. We're gonna make some changes, nothing crazy. So
Yeah. Okay. I gotta watch this this call again. Okay.
what else you got for us, Rodarte?
I guess that's it. I mean, fuck, man. Nothing else. I probably should have started with that.
Yeah, it's all good.
All right. And then I will make the loom for Mason. And then Mason, will we schedule a time today to do a Zoom call? Or not today, sorry, this week?
If we need one, yeah. If I
Okay.
can figure it out, or if you can't
Okay.
figure it out, then yeah.
All right. I'll make you a loom call, sorry, loom video with going through every issue I'm having.
Yeah, go through the automation, then show me
Okay.
the email as well.
Okay. We'll do.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
That's all I got. Thanks, guys. I'm gonna be taking off.
Mr.
Yeah.
Rivera. Come on, man.
Hey, go Sheik, Mason, everybody.
Hello, hello,
What
hello.
up?
So, I got pushed in the front. So cool. Yeah, I mean, I think what I talked about, yeah, you answered it really um on the nail there. Let me just kind of review it. Yeah, I was just thinking about renewal because I'm like, hey, it's close to it's this old doctor, Dr. Chase. And yeah, I just recently been getting him results on the tail end of our kind of experience together. I gave him an extra trial month just because I know the first month where he paid, it just didn't really do much. Gave him an extra month, and then towards like tail end now, kind of seeing that he's actually getting leads. We made some adjustments and stuff, and starting to see the fruit of that. So I was just thinking, hey, he's on a high. We're close to, I think, a week away from anything of re-signing. I will say to some of the stuff you said, I have mentioned this before on the past to him on the onboarding, like, hey, like because I gave him like a trial price. He never like signed up for like a 3-month retainer or anything that I usually do. Like it was just like I think I forgot the price exactly, but I think it was just 30 days, X amount. And just know like if you want to continue forward after that, it's simply going to be a bump up to 1,500 a month, and then we continue there and we can have that conversation when we get there. And then he was like, cool. So I did plant like a small seed. I probably could have done it better. I like how like you mentioned to me, like there's like a lot of different points where you can mention that, which isn't something I really thought about. So definitely something to take note of. But yeah, so I was just thinking in my head, like, how am I going to go about it? But I think I'm more so thinking like the vessel and how to do it. Like, is it email format? Is it through a call? Is it through a Loom? But
Do you think
yeah. Oh, sorry. What was that?
you think he would watch a loom?
Based off previous Looms I've sent him, probably not. So probably I was thinking a call. He seems more of once I got him there, he's pretty engaged on calls, like Zoom calls and stuff. So I was thinking Zoom call.
Okay. You think a Zoom call or a phone call?
Thinking Zoom call, just the rapport. I don't know. I usually like to see Zoom just because I can kind of gauge how his like facial expressions are. Sometimes I can't really read people over the phone.
How are
So
you
I
gonna
can better like match his energy.
how are you gonna get him on the Zoom call? Like, what's kind of the process? Like, what do you actually a few rapid fire questions before we even get into that.
Yeah.
You said you got him results. So how you've done this for him for 2 months. What do you mean in terms of results? Like, how much have you spent? How many leads have you gotten? How many clients have you gotten for him?
He's closed one over the time together. I'd say results really for us, like he's just wanted people like leads. He's just wanted leads because that's something that I even struggled to get him. Sorry, something was calling me. Um, I even
So
struggled to get him to, in my mind, it's like we just need to get the dang thing, get him some dang leads, right? And then like focus on kind of there, right? So I seen on his Google Sheets they're updating it. Luckily, desk staff is updating it. It looked like he scheduled two people in recently. And then he closed someone that was like an early on lead, but it looks like he closed like sometime recently in the last few weeks for Invisalign. So but yeah, he's also getting more leads, which he wasn't really getting before. Like, keep in mind, it was like he was getting like 6 leads a month, and now in the last like I think
what I'm, what
week,
I'm
he's like 8 or 9.
what I'm looking for, and I'm asking for a specific reason. What I'm
Hmm.
specific those three things: dollars spent, number
Hmm.
of leads, and then number of clients.
Spent. All right, let me look in here real quick. I haven't updated his numbers, so I'll just make sure I just go into his funnel real quick here and get you that. So all in all, in the whole campaign, we've spent $1,878.
Yep.
291 clicks, and he's gotten 16 leads.
And then Invisalign, how much does that sell for?
I think he priced at 5,000.
Okay, good. So if we just do some math, then 5K minus, let's just say 2K ad spend minus, let's say, what did you charge him? $1,000?
Yes.
1K. So that means that he's walking with about 1K profit. And then after cost of goods, everything like that, he's probably at about $500 profit.
Hmm.
That makes sense to you? Did you do that
Yeah,
math?
yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that or like break even. I don't know if there's like lab fees and stuff. So
The reason I'm
but
going through this with you is because when you hop on that call with him, it's important that you have these numbers and you're obviously you need to run through like, hey, Dr. So-and-so, just gonna do a recap. First of all, as you know, this is approximately how much we spent. The number one thing you were looking for was leads. We got you 16 leads. Most of those trickle in towards the tail end, and we were able to convert one. And another thing you want to bring up is, hey, that lead that you converted was from earlier on. So in other words, the time cycle is a little bit longer. So I wouldn't be surprised if we convert over at least another one. So now what you're doing is you're kind of getting him to think, oh, yes, I profited 1K after that 500, but if I close one more, then I profit about 5,500. That's the psychology.
hmm.
So you need to run through that. You need to try to get him to see it as, again, I don't like if what you're saying is true, where one lead converted over, if
Hmm.
he buys that, if he believes that, then what's going to happen is when you go in for the 1,500 per month, he's gonna be like, oh, it's a no-brainer because I'm 4,000 profit. I basically Riviera has made me 5,000. He's basically covered his cost for the next 2 months, so everything else is on the upside. You need to get him to believe that. You need to get him to believe. This is the key part. You need to get him to believe that you need to get him to believe that you already paid for your service and everything is upside. That's the key. You need to get him to believe within that month time, he's already made enough money where you basically cover for the next 3 months and everything else you do is just upside for him. And if you can get him to believe that, then he's going to go ahead and convert over it. And again, you need to really also
Yeah.
emphasize the fact that the leads have majority came in towards the tail end, and that takes the algorithm a little bit of time, and that it's going to be exponential hockey stick growth. That's the other thing you have to get them to believe.
Hmm. And I did
Question.
plant the seed a little bit. Like I think we saw like the metrics coming back for the leads a lot better. I was like, you know what? I don't know if I should call it, saying like it's going to be hockey stick growth or this, but I basically told him, hey, based off what we've seen in the before, like from our old metrics to now, and then seeing some leads flood in, I know this is just a recent kind of switch, and you may think, you know, is it going to continue to grow? And I have a very confident, gut feeling that we're going to see some growth from this. And sure enough, like the next week, he just started getting leads. So I did kind of plant seed in there. So you're basically just saying like use like all the metrics as ammunition to then get him to believe, right? Like use that as the backbone.
Use the ammunition and then a few key points to
Logically, it would be stupid to stop.
Yeah.
your two leverage points. One is, hey, the leads, majority of the leads poured in towards the tail end. And so now it's going to be exponential growth. Now we just have to pour more gasoline on the fire. Two, you close one person earlier on, chances are you're going to close another person, which that should basically bring you about $5,000-$6,000 profit. You need to plant
Yeah.
that seed as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, makes sense.
Those are the two things you really have to pull on. Because right now, if you go in there and you try to get him to pay 1,500, he's gonna be like, shit, I didn't even make any money with you.
Yeah, you gotta be the you gotta pack like that was where I was getting stuck on is like how do I package this up and how do I say it in a way that just gets me to that point of, and I obviously I all these little things like I had in my head, but how to effectively kind of navigate it. No, it makes sense for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna note that for sure.
What are the changes that, just out of curiosity, also, like, what are the changes that you made to get him here? You said you had to make a few change or renditions. What did you do in terms of the ad campaign, the structure? What did you do to get it humming?
It's kind of frustrating on what it was because of the fact that it's like really, but I just turned on the old ads, the ones that didn't work the first 2 weeks. And I think I made well, that's most of it, but I think if I looked back truly, it was also Facebook lead form. So changing from a landing page that worked well with my other dentist in LA, Dr. Lisa, and just being like, you know what, let's try something new I've never done with any of my dental clients. Let's try Facebook lead form. And I don't think that worked initially. I think it was a change of targeting and then combined with Facebook lead form. But I really believe that something with the lead form most likely helped. I saw him getting a lot of clicks. Like that's always been a thing. He's always gotten clicks. Um, and he's always gotten people to the landing page, but the conversion rate was just so low, just for them to like put down their info. So changing the Facebook lead form, he's still getting those clicks, but now I'm seeing, he's snagging a little more leads now.
And the
So
person
I
that
would say that.
person he closed, is that from a lead form or is that from a funnel?
I think it's I think it's from the funnel, probably the tail end of when we were using the funnel when he'd barely get any leads, but one like slipped through and he got him through. But now he's getting Facebook lead forms, and from what I've seen, he's scheduled 3, one no showed, and then he's got 2 to come in, I think, next week.
Okay, sick. So one thing that's really important, Rivera, is that you really got to operationalize this, man. And I know I'm already kind of telling you something you probably already know, but like this is a big problem because like the last thing you should be doing right now is figuring things out. Like, you got to have some cooking system, man. You got to have something so that like for me, when I was doing trials, I launched exact ad for the exact person. And then if for some reason that ad didn't work, I had like 3 backup ads and one of them would always work. So you have to have a dialed in process so that you don't run to the issue where towards the tail end you're getting there and you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna get, make them enough money that they're gonna resign with me.
Yeah.
My fingers are crossed for you that the lead form ads will work really well. And if they do, then you can just leverage that moving forward and you don't have to go back to the funnel.
Yeah.
So you one thing you can do, what I would recommend that you do is, how many clients do you have right now? 2 or 3?
3.
One thing you could do that I would highly recommend doing is either use their budget or use your own budget and do lead form for everybody. Because if you come to find that lead forms work with these other 2 people, then you can just get rid of the funnel entirely and really focus on honing in on the lead forms, which I think could be the solution, by the way.
Yeah. I just recently, speaking of lead form, recently switched to lead forms for my first dentist, which we've never done before. She's always had it work landing page in the past, but because she wanted a new teeth whitening campaign, and she kind of wanted it launched quickly, to save some time, I told her we can basically run Facebook lead form, see how they engage, and then based off that, we can always build out further things. But right now, let's just focus on, getting leads. And yeah, she's getting leads through Facebook lead forms as well.
I've heard people do that, and even Aman brought that up, which is like, hey, look, whenever I launch a campaign, I don't necessarily have the time to build out a a funnel, and so sometimes
Mhm.
what I do is I split it out on a lead form, and then once that works, then I go to a funnel. I don't actually think that's the right thing to do. I think you just pick one thing and you stick to your guns and make that one thing work. Because lead
Mhm.
forms and then people go that in a funnel, people that go in a funnel are two completely different people.
Mhm.
And so I'd be curious to see if out of the two people, the three people that he got to book a call or book to show
Mhm.
up, I'd be curious to see what happens with these other two people. If
Mhm.
if he keeps getting people to book and show up through the lead form and none of them convert, well then
Mhm.
yeah, gotta maybe go back to the funnel to get
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
her that you went into the lead forms. Like, has she sold anybody from that or no?
It just started. She's got some leads. I think she scheduled one person, and then other people I see on there, she's just constantly calling them. I don't know how often she calls. It shows that they left a voicemail or whatever. But I can't, it's too early on to say. I know a lot of what came about of wanting her to change the campaign was because a lot of the Invisalign leads was, they'd get there to the point of being there. They say it's too expensive, or she'd have a lot of no-shows. More uptick than recently. So that's where I kind of suggested also Facebook lead format, just change it. You can give me your feedback based off a week or 2 week of trying it. Let me know how the lead quality is and basically all that stuff. So she was kind of on board with that thinking as well. Not just like, oh, let's just switch Facebook lead form because it was more so driven from the fact that she was getting no shows and it was just and she was using all the same processes that got her to bring people in before and close them, but it just seemed to be, one of those things that she felt a shift from the market. But I'm not there in the office with her. I try to get as much introspection, but yeah, so that's kind of why went to
So
the
keep,
lead form route.
so keep me and Mason posted on that. Me and
Hmm.
Mason love to have a closer look at like what's.
Yeah, yeah. She just started, so yeah, the data is barely rolling in, but from what it at least I'm getting her leads. That was my biggest worry is like switching to Facebook lead forms with a tried and true client who already gets so many leads from her current funnel and her wanting to switch off the offer a little bit and then also try Facebook lead forms. It was kind of like, oh shit, but luckily at least the leads are coming in. But yeah, I'm gonna try to touch base with her this week, just kind of get some clarity on everything.
Good. Yeah, and then the other thing, and you probably already know this, but just to reemphasize, like it doesn't matter if a client says they want leads. It really doesn't matter. Customers are the only thing that they actually care about. That's the only thing that's going to cause them
Yeah.
to open. So don't just because you get leads, don't get excited. If a client
Yeah, yeah,
you get them leads, don't jump up for joy because I promise you they're gonna come pointing their finger at you the moment they
yeah,
make.
yeah. Their bottom
Do
line for
whatever,
sure.
do whatever is necessary. So again, if the funnel is what ultimately brings in the sales, stick to that
Hmm.
and just figure out. If the lead forms are bringing a bunch of leads but nobody's buying, right?
Then
But
it's
you got to be
best
on.
for the other. Yeah, yeah,
So, but
for sure.
drill it, really focus on the automations, really focus on the follow up, do what you can, keep a close eye on her, have conversation with
Mm-hmm.
her.
Be seen where it matters.
Hmm.
So
For
yeah,
sure.
that's that,
Yeah,
man.
cool. And
What
then
else you got?
I launched that middle funnel finally. It got some leads, but then it kind of tinkered out a little bit. So I did update the numbers if you care to see them. I put a new sheet for the middle funnel, and then I still have the one that I'm currently running for top of funnel.
You can actually so you can actually like keep all of the contents. You don't need to, let's say, have like two Excel sheets, but I mean
Uh-huh.
it's not bad to um
Yeah, I was thinking of like, how am I gonna do it for next month in terms of structure? Like, it
one
comes in
thing.
next month. I think I've done it before, but I don't know if there's like a better way to do it.
What I would
Just
do whenever I had an Excel sheet is I would whenever I had like cold, whenever I tried to whenever I was looking at the difference between cold and warm traffic, I always highlighted my cold traffic in blue and then my
Uh-huh.
warm in red. So you can keep them on the exact same Excel sheet and you can just color code it if you wanted to.
Okay.
Um, but like nowadays what I do is I just keep everything all in one place. And
All on one sheet. Okay.
what I do is when it comes to my ad sets,
Mm-hmm.
within my ad sets, I like title them. So I know 42 purchases came from this warm traffic, for example. So I
Yeah.
just change the name of my stuff.
Okay.
So you got 20. So you got 24 leads?
Yes, this is the original one that's been working, right? It's top of funnel. That's the middle funnel.
Okay.
That one has been for some reason last week and a half, it's been just kind of pushing out a lot of fake ones. I think last time I talked to you 2 weeks ago, the last call here, we talked about how like a quarter or a third of them was fake, a third of them was real, and then a third of them, forgot what the other third was, like wouldn't answer or something. But um, so now it's more like 80% are fake, 20% are real, but it's been a while since I've seen a real dentist drop in, honestly, to the funnel. So I was thinking of making sometimes even just duplicating the ad set and relaunching. Sometimes, honestly, has worked in the past. So I'm thinking of just doing that. But it's a little hard because the numbers look so nice and look so good, but I know they're not real leads. So I'm like, you know what? I know the numbers look good. I shouldn't touch this, but I think I'm at that point. So I was just curious if you think that's the right move, is to like
Yeah.
duplicate ad set.
Let's duplicate the ad set. The trick is creatives, man. That's it. That's all the trick is. Creative is the trick. So that, I would be, if I'm you, one of the biggest priorities that you have daily, a daily task would be, who can I hop on a call with? So for example, when that dentist closes a deal with a client, it's like, hey, congratulations. Can we hop on a call? I'd love to hear what that experience was. And then literally get him talk to you like, okay, this is what it was. I'm so excited. Da, da, da. Boom. Now you try that as a creative. That's
Mhm.
that's gotta be a high thing on your priorities.
For sure. I'll note that.
So yeah, let's try to duplicate, see what happens. When did we launch with the creative, that creative? How long has it been? The testimonial creative?
I think it's let me double check here, but I'm thinking the beginning of July. I mean, I think I've done the creative before, but in terms of this exact ad set, or like the one that you were reviewing on your sheet, I think it was the top of the month. I remember it being like a fresh month, and then that we started with that ad. So um
So is this like this July 24th? Is this like what I want to look at?
it's July 2024. So like,
Oh,
yeah, for the year. So I just like, it's just July, essentially, the first through the last of the day. And then I'm thinking of, yeah, it might be better. I think it was doing that to me, so I just kind of accepted. Unless-
whatever.
What the fuck?
That's fine. We'll
Yeah, that's I think that's why I gave up. But
Okay.
yeah, July 1st, I mean, you'll get the picture that it's each month, basically, but
So I mean, overall, man, like ads still look healthy. Everything still looks fine, even though we have some, fake people.
Mhm.
Overall, costs. I mean, so how many discovery calls have you had total?
Uh, in total, I would have to count up the sheets. I don't have like a consolidated places for every ad set that I've done, but which I should honestly. I'm just gonna note that just because you said that. Probably it's good to have that.
So I mean, it's this right here says that you've had 4 book discovery
Mhm.
calls.
Yeah,
Um,
for this ad set, yeah.
had 2 out of those 4. You had 2. The other 2, have you yet to have them, or they no showed?
They no showed. I did. Yeah, I think I did one sales. Um, it's a little fuzzy now since these were kind of the top of the month, but yeah, it was just, yeah, I couldn't get them to show. I kind of did the process right. I kind of text them up until and trying to see if we get engaged responses. I tried something Amon did that was like, sometimes these guys book out like a week out, which I've kind of made it so they can only book like 4 days out now. But sometimes they'll still book 4 days out. I think one of them was like a discovery, and I just end up, hey, I forgot what it was, but it's like a talk track Amon helped me with, where it was like you could basically call them, hey, we basically got a meeting on this day, but if you're free today, I actually have an opening if you'd like to discuss it. And I actually got him a discovery, and then we converted that call that he booked for a discovery that ended up being like, we set it as a sales call because I got to talk to him that day. Um,
Is this
Talked to him, everything seemed good. But yeah, he, it was a interesting situation. I tried to work with his schedule. He said, hey, instead of 8 a.m., can we do 6 a.m. for a sales call? I'm like, God, it's pretty early. I mean, I don't know if that's normal. I said, is there anything else that works with you? He's like, oh, that's really it, man, and stuff. And I get it, he's a dentist, so it's kind of like I kind of almost know he's probably not bullshitting in the sense that that's probably his only given amount of time. But yeah, I told him like, let's do it, let's rock and roll, you know. So I was thinking I'm gonna wake up at 5 hour prepared, get 6 a.m. whatever, and then like um, I just would message them every day, here's a testimonial so that way you're well prepared and have a productive discussion so you can see kind of some, I gave him some materials and some dropping some stuff and he just wouldn't reply, wouldn't confirm up until the date, right? And I even texted him the night before and yeah, he just wouldn't reply. So I'm like, I don't know if I should even show up for this call. Like in my experience, like they just never show, right? And then sure enough, the one time I sleep in and, he texts me at 6 a.m., I'm here. And I just remember feeling like shit, I just felt like shit, like I'm an idiot. And I I just, I try my best to like think of the history and I should have thought, hey, this could happen. So I just beat myself up all day. I was feeling pretty shitty that day, not gonna lie. But this is a fact that he just wasn't responding, but I know that's probably not good enough excuse, but that's kind of why I was beating up myself. It's like, hey, there's no excuse for you not showing up, Daniel. Like
So
that's rookie shit, you know?
so that sales call, how long ago was that? So just very short. I just have some very
Just
simple
last Friday, I think.
So is this is not that sales call?
Book sale, but there's a book discovery, right?
This is
So,
live. So
oh, you
then
know what? No, you know what? I think I messed up. You could put that 0 for the sales meeting. I think I just, for some reason, I interpret that as the book call, like a book call again.
so this is that guy that you're talking about then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So in that
But
case,
yeah, I felt like shit. Like it's just like oh man.
it's all good. Hey, look, it's all good. Now you know.
Yeah.
But the good news is that your numbers are not bad. So if I'm looking at $600 for a book sales call with somebody that's qualified, and let's say you close out of let's say 1 out of 5,
Yeah.
5 to 20, 25, that's a little bit expensive. But the LTV with these guys is relatively high. I wouldn't like to see 2,500. I mean, $1,500 for a closed deal is not too shabby. Um, to
I
me,
think
if you
it's a little bit too, and I don't mean to cut you off, but like, a lot of the leads that flooded in, I don't know if that messed up the numbers for the book calls, but I know a lot of the leads that flooded in recently have been fake. So I know it's kind of probably conflating the numbers a little bit
the
versus like real.
the cost for book sales call is like it's okay. Um, these numbers are okay. If you continue to get like sales calls, I think for 600 a piece, and you close, say 1 out of 3 of them, like that's not shabby. I don't think. Um, so it's all good. Learning lesson.
Yeah.
Cool. What else you got for us in terms of things you want to go over, Rivera?
That's kind of it. I mean, I know the biggest like fire is just getting the leads to get high quality leads again, but from what I've done before, just duplicating the ad set seems to work and maybe changing out the font and the colors and stuff. Um, so I'm just thinking, because every time on a fresh launch, it's kind of weird. Like I've had this history, and I think maybe you can attest to this, but every time I do a fresh launch, there's like a lot of like, I'm like, hey, I'm finally getting real dentist leads, and it's because I just made this change. And then that usually lasts for like a week and a half, and then it kind of like, for some reason, now I start getting some fake ones, and it starts trickling in until I do that rinse and repeat, and then it's kind of the same thing. And then the beginning it'll be real leads, and I kind of just take the first chunks of those ad sets I launch and those are the ones those are the prime apples, so I hope that makes sense.
I had the same experience, but for me, I will launch something, I'll get stuff going for about 2 months, 3 months, and then I have to do that over and over. And for me, I do it over and over, and then it just stops working. And then from there, I have to create a new creative or switch up the tweak it, change it the first 3 seconds, something.
Yeah.
And then that works some time, and then eventually that stops working too, and then I have to build a brand new complete ad. So yeah, your experience is complete. So by the way, if that's what works for you, dude, like do that, like launch, and then every like 2 weeks, get a habit to just duplicate and start over. Don't say like the moment you feel, start going
yeah. So. Yeah, once it starts nagging at me in the head and like from seeing all these fake leads for sure. But I mean, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to get that off my chest. But yeah, no, I know it's probably just getting some real leads in there, and I feel like this next set is going to be a lot different from my last set of real dentist leads because it's just talking, touching base with you a lot, getting clarity on things. Realizing that words do matter and what you say matters, and you don't want to say fluff, but you don't want to say too little where you're not getting like the point across. So it's kind of just building. I feel like every time I get the next set of real dentist leads, I always feel like I'm bringing something new to then implement, and it's just trying to make that as like retained as possible and not me trying to lose like the memory of it, trying to let that evolution stack. But that's pretty much it for me.
I think, ideally what we can do. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good, Revere. What I'd love to see is like, because I know, we're burning through cash trying to close these deals, but what I'd love to see is like see some consistency. And then once you see consistency, then you can confidently scale up your ad spend. And then what's going to happen is you're like daily hopping on calls. And that's when you're really going to get into the swing of things, when you get into that momentum, because you're not going to get cold. You're going to constantly be warm talking to a lot of people. That's what I'd love to see you do.
Yeah. Yeah, for
So,
sure. And I'm doing better
yeah, man.
prepping for calls
You have
too.
questions,
So yeah, hopefully that helps. Didn't mean to cut
Okay,
you off.
cool. Well, if there's anything else, River, you let us know, okay?
All right. Thanks. Thanks.
Um,
I'll be sticking around just a little bit too, since got some time here.
Mr. Cam,
Hello.
you bounced, man. We got scared. I was like, where's he going?
Yeah, I had to go fuck up on a discovery call. So
Oh shit, did you have a discovery call?
yeah, I fucked it. I fucked it good.
What happened?
Wonder how many have you had?
So today, so I my first lead came in like yesterday, so this is my second day. Yesterday I needed to watch the videos. I hadn't even watched the videos. I just like went to bed at 2 a.m., launched my ads, woke up with leads, and I'm like, oh fuck, I already fucked up. I haven't reached out to them. But yeah, so I think I've had like 3 discovery calls. The one I just had was the chiropractor one that you guys both are aware of, I'm pretty sure. I wanted that one so bad, but I didn't even get through. I'm glad I had it because it was the first. I think I had 3 discovery calls total. That was the only one that was legit. The other ones was like, I'm lifting rocks. And they were bad rocks. There was no bugs there at all. I think one was like a tea startup company or something, and she hasn't even started yet. She
So what
has
happened?
aspirations. I just basically told her, I was like, I just wanted to get to know her a little bit and let her know. I wanted to get to know her and I wanted her to get to know me. And I kind of gave her the info that I don't even know. Let me try to find I read the script the best I could.
Did you
But a lot of
record?
the script, no, I didn't record it. I recorded some of them. Then I got to get better at that. The one that I just went on,
Do
I
you
got
know
like
what
3
we
things going
do you
there.
know what we do to people that don't record their calls?
No, what?
We buy plane tickets to their house and beat them up.
Oh, it'd be nice to see your guys' faces for real, so maybe I should do that. I'll start doing it though.
Good.
So yeah. So on a serious note, though, talk to us about the Cairo. What happened with the Cairo?
So the Cairo, I didn't even get through the script. I was just I had the whole thing lined up, like all the stuff that you sent me, I wrote it down. Like the whole numbers thing. I got caught up in the numbers thing. Every single client that I talked to today, which is only 3, 2 of them were trash, bad bugs under the rock. This one was like the good one. And I have like the full script here from what you sent me in the voice memo. It's like the crunch number part, question 4, I think, on the script. I basically just, instead of having the question, I put the question and then I said, read this right after you say that, which is like, he wants to be at 4, or he's currently at 40K. He wants to be at 80. If the average cost per acquisition is 150, to get 10 customers would be or $1,500 of ad spend if each customer takes $150. Like even right now, like my wording is just, there's so many like numbers that represent different things and they have to flow together.
What happened? Like,
What happened was
walk
I
me
eventually
through what
got
happened.
through
Like,
it.
what happened?
So, the whole script was going good pretty much. Like he just asked some questions. He's like, what's your background? I was like, oh, my background's a videographer. Then he asked me like what the cost is, like pretty much right off the rip. And I was like, typically we do 20%. Like I've never done this before, so I was just kind of bullshitting. But I think from what you said, I said 20% is kind of the industry standard. So that's what we stick to. We don't go above or below that. We do 20% of whatever you get from the customers. I can't remember how
Did
I
you
said
record
it.
this call?
No, I didn't. I'm mad at myself for it.
Okay.
Yeah. I recorded some of the
So,
bad
I guess
ones,
how
but
about
then yeah.
So how about this? So like, why don't you ask us questions then? For me, what I'd like to know is, because you're asking things like, oh, what's your background? What do you do? And like that's not part of the script. And yet you went into that. So I don't like know what specifically happened, where it threw you off, where the issue is. What I'm curious, like
He
what I'm
asked me
really
about
curious about
my
is like,
background.
here's what's going on.
Yeah.
Right. So what I'm curious, hey, did Cam go through the script? If Cam went through the script, where exactly did he get stuck? Question 4, question 3. Okay, he got stuck on question 4. What exactly happened? Let's do the role playing. He said this, and then I said this, and then he said this, and I said this, and this is what happened. That's what I'm asking you.
Right. It was such a tornado of thoughts and just jumbliness. I don't think I could even do that.
What
Okay.
this is my question. This is my question because I just want to know, like, fuck how like everything else happened, the beginning of the call, middle of the call. What, at the end of the call, like what happened? Like what was the final exchange?
So the final exchange, I got to 10 customers on your roster equate to like
No, no,
$700
no, no,
per
no, no,
client.
no, no, no. I don't care about any of that.
Okay.
Like when you like after the whole script was going through everything, it's like, did you ask him if he wanted to like book a call to see what the strategy would look like, or like how did the end work out? Like what was it, like just like a bye, have a nice day, a nice talking to you, or like what was the end?
So the end was, let me think about it. I will contact you by the end of the week if I think it's something I want to pursue. But I didn't even finish the script. I was just reading what I ended on, and then he cut me off there.
Did you
Okay.
get through the car analogy?
No, I didn't even get to the car analogy, which is crazy. I don't even remember. It's all bad. I'm glad this happened because when I was talking to him, all I'm doing is reading the script, and then he asks questions and we dive into that. I think question 4 is before the car analogy, so that's what happened. I just completely skipped it, and then he opted out. He said, "All right, well, I'll give you a call if I'm interested." I'm like, "I'm not even done, dude. I should have said that, but
So how about this? What questions do you have for us that we can answer?
is there a better system to crunch the numbers for them?" Question 4 is because it's just such a, especially when they don't give me, it's easier to do that when they give me the application form, but when they don't submit that and they just go from the opt-in, I don't have any of that info. So when they're talking, I have to kind of input it in, and just saying it so it makes sense to them on the fly, where there's not a big gap of, "How was your day, by the way," while I'm doing some typing or whatever. It would just be nice to be more professional in the sense that as soon as they tell me, "Oh, okay, I know what that means. This is what this is going to look like for you."
Okay, so if I'm hearing you correctly, what I'm understanding is that you seem to get stuck once you get to that place of where it's time to crunch numbers. So
So
that
far,
very
yeah. Yeah.
So question 1, and just to recap, question 1 is, hey, so what made you want the video, and how are you doing with that question? How's that question going for you? Is that going well? Do you
That
feel like you're
question's
getting the right
going,
response?
I think that's the only question that I'm good at because I don't go to question 2 until I get an answer about them telling me that they want customers. That's why. So like the objective of
So
question 1, I don't leave until I'm done that. So that's the only one that I think I've done well at. And it's the same as number 2. Like we get to the bottom of it and I explain to them what it is, and then we're both like, okay, yeah. But the chiropractor guy, you were saying, sorry?
I'm gonna actually pull up just to follow along with you here.
Okay.
And Cam, by the way, dude, like split it. Like this is normal. Like it the first few, dude, like it this is that. Everybody trips over the
Yeah.
words and everything. Me and Mason's giving you a hard time. Super chill.
No, that's good.
Everybody does the same. It takes a while. It
Right.
takes a few reps before it starts feeling fluid.
The reps are good. That one just sucked to kind of to lose just because there was so much promise. I fucked it good, but yeah, like you said, it's the third time, so
Well,
eighth time's a charm,
we don't,
maybe.
like maybe. I mean, can you hear me? It's lagging a little bit. I don't know
Yeah,
if it's on my
yeah, yeah. I can hear you.
end. Oh, it's on my end. Okay, cool. So question one, pretty smooth. Question two, hey, like what's your average client worth? Like, how's that working for you? Is that working pretty well?
It's going pretty well. For that one specifically, you guys were saying like, or I think it was you go Sheik, but you were saying like don't leave until he says the lifetime value is 1,000, 2,000. He said I was trying to get 1,000 out of him. He said 500 to 700 is his average. So just off that, I was like, we're not looking good. That's not even close to what you said. And then it says 1K, like aim for at least 1K.
So
So I was like,
okay, so and it's okay. Just get what you can get, man. Don't stress. So uh ask me how you would have asked them that question. I'm just curious how I just want to kind of see how you did it.
I say, so what is your average lifetime value of your customers? Or so sorry, I think I say LTV, and then I say, what is your average LTV of your customers? And by the way, LTV stands for lifetime value. If you hear me saying that throughout the call, that's what that means. And then I say,
So is that how you say it?
that's how I say it. Yeah, that's how I've been saying it. Just because I'm like, I wouldn't know what to say, or I wouldn't know what LTV is. So I just want to make sure and say it properly where it's not like you're stupid. How do you know? But like, let me just, how would you know, you know?
So you sound a little bit robotic as I'm hearing you. One way I might say is like, all right, so really quick, Dr. John, what's your average LTV? In other words, like I know people come in, they probably have multiple adjustments done, but over the course of let's say 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, how whatever the average is, like what would you say the average customer spends with you? Again, some customers probably come in for like one adjustment, and then we got other customers that come in for years. Like, what would you say the average customer is worth? Do you see what I'm doing there?
Damn it. Yeah, that's pretty
Like
good.
that's what
Yeah.
you want to do. So Cam, as time progresses, like use more like no, like seriously, use more words and get fluid and make it you, right? Don't try again, there's a script here, but like don't be robotic. Like try to be fluid like that. And again, it's industry specific. So see how I like mixed in the industry? What does that tell him? That tells him what? That I'm educated, knowledgeable about chiropractors. If I were to say, for example, personal trainers, like, okay, so what is the average LTV? Like, obviously, some people, they come in, they sign up for personal training, they'll do like a month and then that's it. And other people, they're going to come in, they're going to prep for contests and they'll come back to you multiple times. They'll do a bulk and a cut. Like, what would you say the average person spends with you? See what I'm doing there? Like, you want to let them know a little bit about the industry and all that good stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah, a lot of sense. That's smart.
Question 3, walk me through how you go about that one. So which one did you pick? Which one of these did you pick first of all?
I picked the one that you're on. So
talk to me the way you talked to him about question 3. Tell me what you told him.
I think I messed up on this one. I'm having difficulty organizing what leads are what because I haven't been able to call them right away. So it's not me reviewing the application or opt and then going straight into it. So I think for this one, I was like, I read the script and I was like, oh fuck, I don't even know if you have a website. So I think I stuttered there. That'd be something.
So a key thing you want to write this down, Cam. Make sure before you hop on the discovery call.
Yeah.
Very important. Make sure you go to their Facebook. You go to their Facebook, see if they're running ads. Make sure you go to their website, see the pixels installed. You want to see what is their experience with ads. So
I've been doing that.
Very crucial.
I've been doing that. That's why I pick the ones. But in terms of like if they have, I don't know. I definitely checked that. That's why I picked that section. But in terms of, I checked this out on your thing. I just forgot what they had because I've been looking at so many today. I think I have 8 leads now. And so I just got kind of mixed up onto who's who and who's got what. Yeah, but yeah, okay.
So in terms of your question of like, hey, dude, like I didn't get a chance to check out their website. They just opted in. I haven't gone through their stuff. So
Mhm.
this goes back to this video right here. Have you gotten a chance to watch this video or you have not watched this video yet?
I started it. I got to do that.
So this video will answer that question for you, man, in terms of how to navigate things if somebody has not answered the onboarding, answered the application questions, so you don't know access to their website or whatever. This is where you get the ammunition. So what you're typically going to do if let's say somebody opts in. I don't want to spend too long here because this conversation is not the best use of our time for me to run through this with you, but let's say somebody opts in and they don't apply. You're going to talk to them and you're literally going to do the application questions right on the call. It's like, okay, got it. So really quick, I mean, like, are you, I don't even know what questions I have on my application page. You're literally running through that to give you the ammo to know if they run paid ads, don't write paid ads or any of that stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. That was actually one of my notes. I was like, if I do that, do I ask him all the questions on the application page? So I'm glad you said that.
So, so yeah, just like walk me through like, so you did not get to question 3 or you got to question 3 and you kind of screwed this one up.
Um, I got to question 3, and then he said he just bought the
Walk me
practice.
through how
and
you
it-
said.
So I think I said I visited your site and Facebook page, and I could see right away that you weren't running ads. We usually look at a pixel, and the pixel wasn't going off, and the pixel basically just tells me if you are running ads or not. And there's no sign of that. So do you have any ads experience? And if so, what was it exactly? I think that's pretty much how I said it. And then he said no.
That's okay. Gotcha.
He said no, he just bought the practice from a guy. He's still in the process of purchasing it, and he hasn't, it's just been word of mouth. He's an old fellow. Yeah.
Okay. So to me, it sounds like so it sounds to me like you hit that line and then it was a very short like no, and then you went to question 4 and that's where you really struggled, yeah? So if I'm replaying that conversation, I can totally see why now. So if you use literally that tonality, that terminology, like the way you sounded, kind of sounded a little robotic, and that's okay. You're gonna figure out your unique sauce. And you said that stuff to me, and then I said no. And then you went right into got it. So here's what I can tell you based off of research. You know, you're trying to get to 15, you know, double your crunch some numbers. He's gonna fucking check the fuck out. It's
Yeah.
just so unfluid. That's what happened, in my opinion. So you said this
Right.
thing sounded robotic. He said no, and then you kind of went into like buttering him up, and he wasn't ready to be buttered up.
Right.
What could you have done if we just like again, sometimes like again, this is a script, but you have to kind of think on your feet and like just be a human and be like, okay, what can I do to butter him up a little bit? So maybe the way I would have done it is like, okay, so you know, I know that you just bought the practice based off of the answers to your application questions. What I do like to do when I have a conversation with anybody is kind of see what their ad experience is, because oftentimes, you know, ads equal more traffic equal more leads equals more sales. And what I based off of like what I was looking at when I saw your website, by the way, great website. I really love XYZ on your website. But I didn't actually see any a Facebook pixel on there. And in case you don't know what a Facebook pixel is, that just tells me whether somebody's running Facebook ads or not. Do you have any experience like running paid ads? Again, I know you just bought the practice, but like, do you have any experience with paid ads? Like, did the previous owner run paid ads? Do you yourself, are you planning on running paid ads? See what I'm doing there?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm pretty much
You
reading the script, and then I'm thinking I'm creative by saying a little thing about a pixel, but you're saying do your own thing, put your own sauce, and do whatever you got to say and fit all these tallies in there. And once those tallies are in there, then you're good. But it's kind of like a putting Febreze on a fart type thing. That was a stupid example, but
yeah, you you got to make it personable. Like
right,
you got to make it personable. And know, like, hey, dude, I checked your shit out. I'm like connecting with you. Like the way you're talking is like it's just a fucking script. There's no emotional connection there.
right.
And
Okay.
so what he would do after he said that, he'd be like, Actually, Cam, like I just bought this practice from somebody else, so I'm not entirely sure actually what they've done. Got it. That makes sense. So I'm on question 4 now. So here's the deal, Dr. John. Your goal is to basically double and get from like 30 to 80, yeah? He says, yeah. And like right now, you're telling like I mean like is there anything that you've done so far to get there other than like getting the practice? No, I haven't done anything. I've done word of mouth, I have newspaper, whatever. Gotcha. So based on my experience, and this is really our bread and butter, what we do is we focus on traffic. And that's why I was asking you about the pixel earlier. In my experience, it's about $150 to bring in a new customer into the establishment. And so based on what you're telling me that the average client's worth about $1,000. That means that for every $150 that you spend, you're basically turning that to $1,000. So again, it's like imagine like a money making machine. You put $150 in, it spends a thousand, you got $900 of profit. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, what I can tell you is like taking you from 40K to 80K, realistically, if you want to maybe baby step it from 40K to 60K, what I can tell you is about X number of dollar in ad spend. That's pretty much what it would get you. Is that something you'd be open to? Again, that's basically doing, 5X on your cash. Is that something you'd be interested in? Is that something you'd be willing to explore? He says, yeah. See how I'm like, again, I'm using, again, like you're saying, you're taking the script, you're making it work, but you're being personable, you're tying it to them. He says,
Right.
yeah. Now I'm going to be able to get into this. And this part, practice, bro. Practice this, practice in front of the mirror. This is the bread and butter right here. This is what sells the deal. This is what closes
Okay.
it. So is
Yeah.
this starting to make sense to you more? A little bit?
Yeah, it does. I haven't even made it to the car analogy, so yeah.
But
Yeah,
like, do you
yeah, it
have a
does.
better idea of like what you should?
Oh, yeah, I've been doing it all wrong.
It's all right.
Have you made it to the car analogy with the other 2 discovery calls you said you had?
No, no. The other two weren't. One of them hasn't even started a business, and the other one, they didn't want to spend a single dime on ads. They were like, I just want the video. And
Okay.
if you have any strategies on how to do it money free, like how to put themselves out there. And I was like, fortunately, we're just a marketing agency. We
Gotcha.
mainly focus on AdSense. So
Even if like obviously those are like 2 like really not good fits because they're not even like necessarily in business, but even with the people that are bad fits, like still go through the script with everybody. I think
right.
that's what I'll say just for the practice as well.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good.
Guy, did he ask you? I'm gonna guess here. Did he ask you about your experience and like what you do and all that stuff? It was either after question 3 or after question 4. Was it after question 3 or was it after question?
It was definitely after question 3, because after question 4, we just went there and he said, I'll contact you later or whatever.
So what happened is you sounded robotic. You got his spidey senses went off. He's like, this kid's running me through a fucking script. Dude, what's your experience? Who the hell are you? That's what was ringing in his head. That's what
You
happened.
got me. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay.
That's it. Now you know.
Good. Yeah. And so, I mean, I'm sure other people throw questions at you, even if you're hitting the script perfectly, not the script, but your version of the script. What do you say to something like that? Just try to do your best and get back into the script, navigate it back into the script without them even realizing it, or
So go ahead and ask me a question after, let's say I did question 3 with you. I educated you on the power of ads and you answer and then you throw a question at me. So and think of a real question that you might ask me after this. So I do my whole song and dance, ask you a question, you respond, and then ask me a question.
okay. What do you have any referrals for your past clients?
Gotcha. So here's how I probably take that, right? So first of all, what would you say? How would you respond to this?
How would I?
You'd probably respond to this by saying, no, I don't have any experience with paid ads. But like, dude, do you do you have any referrals in our industry? That's probably what you would say realistically, right? So I educate you on the power of ads. You say, no, I don't have any experience with ads. What's your referrals? Then I can go into, yeah, actually, we have several clients within this industry. We have one client based in South Carolina. and then we have another one based in North Carolina. And in fact, based off of what I've seen, what I can tell you is on average, when it comes to our clients, see, I'm rolling right into it. The average cost per
Yeah.
acquisition from what I've seen is about $150. So I answered your thing of referrals, and I'm fucking jujitsuing, I'm tai chiing it against you. And I'm like, do you see what I'm doing there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have results, and fucker, these are the results.
Right.
So you could probably get the same results.
Yeah.
So exactly, to answer your question, you answer it, you go right back into it.
Yeah.
So the way I like to think about it is like, here's what it looks like. This is sales, like the entire thing. So this is like the ad, the ad, funnel, discovery call, sales call, right? And then you can take the discovery call, and it itself is a pipeline. And your entire job is to force people here. You just force them all the way from the ad, all the way here. And then again, if we look into micro, we force it. And so what happens is from time to time, people are leaving, and then we bring them right back in. That's your entire goal. People leave, you bring them right back in.
Right.
Sales 101 fundamental. So you answer in the way that you feel like would serve and make them happy, and then you go right back into it, and you go over your thing, and then you ask a question, put it right back on them. So you answer them, but the last thing that you should say, here's the trick. If somebody ever derails you, what you say back to them cannot end in a period. What you say back to them must end in a question. That's the trick.
All right.
So yeah, these are results. Da 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 da. Here's our experience. Would you be interested in this? I gave you a question. I didn't give you something with a period.
Okay. That's good. Okay.
Good question. That's a very good question.
That one's gonna be a tough one. I get that like the discovery call. It seems like the discovery call is like a I don't know, just keep on doing discovery calls until you get a sales call. It's just killing me. I mean, it's my third one. But
yeah.
It's like it's an art. I thought it was kind of gonna be like discovery call, just trial and error until you get the sales call, then we go. But I was like, this is an art right here. All right.
The whole thing. And here's the thing, like Cam, everybody's a little bit different, and different people have different questions. You're like, some people naturally kind of do their own mojo song and dance. For you, you made the mistake, and it's not even a mistake. Remember, you're failing forward. It's not a mistake that you made. You just didn't know any better. You were doing what you thought was right. That's not a mistake
Right.
in my book. That's just failing forward. Now that I'm going over with you, now
Right.
you can go the right way.
All right, don't do it again.
But yeah, this is the process of the discovery call and the sales call, man. Like, you're gonna find your mojo after you. I promise you, the next three, the first one, you're gonna get further along. My goal is hopefully you can get down to this part right here. And then probably by like the sixth one, you're gonna start feeling pretty good.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I got one at 7, so we'll see.
Okay.
Fall forward some more.
Make sure you record.
Okay,
Yeah.
what other
I don't want you guys over here.
what other questions do you have, Cam, that we can answer for you?
Sorry, let me just I wrote some down in my notes. Yeah, so that was another thing. So they fill in the opt-in. I think you said wait 5 minutes or so if they fill in the opt-in. But usually if they do carry on to the application page, you won't see that they're going to be doing it, and then they're probably going to get a call from me if I wait 5 minutes, because in my experience it takes them like 5 to 15-ish. Is that fine? That's what you recommend, kind of just get in there?
I mean, here's what I recommend. What I recommend is within this video. And what I'm recommending is that you get really good at your words to the point where somebody opts in and they haven't even had a chance to apply, do anything, and you're just on the call and you're just running through basically the entire application question. After you run through the application question, then you basically come in here, do your whole song and dance, do all this stuff here. That's an ideal case.
Okay.
But again, yeah, but you're going to figure out what works for you. What might be easiest for you is, for the time being, what might be easiest is like, give people, 10 minutes and then call. Instead of just 5 and just going ham, maybe give it 10 minutes and see if people apply.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like
It's
that bet.
it's up to
I
you what
for
you
some
want to do.
reason, yeah.
Yeah. I think once you give this video a watch, you'll have a better idea. Just this video is very important. Once you watch this video, it'll fill in the line, it'll color between the lines, and then you can use your discernment of what you want to do.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think this week I'm probably just going to keep on getting leads and focus strictly on how I read the script in the way that you're saying. Like it's as if it's not a script, I'm just fitting it in there. Um, yeah, that's probably going to be
This
my
is
main focus. I feel like it's going to be the thing that'll shoot me forward.
this goes back to the lesson that I was explaining inside of the program, which is that it's important not to memorize a script or understand a script, but like it's important to understand the objective of each question. That's the core thing. If you just understand the objective, well, then you can be free flowing with your words, right?
Right. Right. Okay. So it's almost like the answer to the questions there is what you want out of them, but you don't even really have to say any of those words as long as you get the same answer that would get you, right?
Exactly. You know the answer. Your job is to squeeze out the right answer. What do you need to say
Right.
to squeeze out the right? You already know the answer. You're playing a game of chess. You already know 10 steps ahead. You already know what they have to say. So this one, question one, you know that, hey, they have to tell you, hey, I want customers. Until then, you don't move forward. And so you've been able to figure that out. You've been able to squeeze out the right answer. Same thing.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Good. Oh yeah. Can I show you my numbers, I guess? I haven't even, I don't even have I have one, but I don't have what's it, an Excel sheet or anything. I don't even know if I'm at the stage where I need one, but I haven't watched that video yet. I haven't gotten there. Let me just see. Okay, how do I get this bar out of here?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like if you go into your ads manager, and like I'm not worried about your numbers at all. Like I never worry about anybody's numbers when it comes to the 6 week sales funnel in terms of ads.
Oh no, all
You
right.
got eight leads. How much did you spend?
Oh, that was my other question. It's like like I said, I don't know exactly how to read these numbers properly and what they mean, but is the one, should I even keep doing stories?
Good question. Let's keep scrolling to the right. I want to see how much you spent. If you or is this all that you have, or there
Yeah,
should be
this is all
ads?
I have.
Okay, so yeah, this is a good question. So what you want to do in your particular case is you want to go ahead and shut off your stories because your stories are high. And then what you can do is if you want to, again, stay at the same pace or even go faster, you can just duplicate your feeds ad.
Right. I was thinking that just double the money because it's literally the same. Anyways,
Don't edit the budget on here. Just duplicate the ad set. Never touch something that is already working.
just like that.
Yes. Keep current setup. Yep. Just hit duplicate there
Where?
at the bottom right.
Oh, sorry, my Zoom tab is in my way.
Just the blue button.
I do not see it. Oh, okay, hold on. The Algorithm's faces are blocking that.
There you go.
And then just hit publish on the bottom right, the green button.
Yeah.
And if you want to rename it, you can if you want. But
So yeah,
Copy it, I guess. All right.
you don't need to mess around with it. You just leave it, man.
yeah, it's fine.
Let me share my screen with you really quick.
Yep.
There's a video all at the very bottom of the page. Tracking and analyze your KPIs. So give this video a watch. It's a quick video, 14-minute video after our call on just like how to ensure you read your data correctly.
I can't see your page.
And you can do this as well. Stop sharing your screen.
Oh.
There you go. Okay. So at the bottom of that page, tracking and analyzing your KPIs, give this video a watch. This video, how to customize your columns, give that video a watch. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So main thing though is like, yeah, give these video a watch really quick, but the most important thing is for you to give that one video a watch, the one I discussed. Like this is the most important thing you can do for now, is watch this video.
Yeah. Which video is that? Your screen's glitching a little bit.
How to book the maximum number of sales
Right.
calls.
Right. Okay.
Yep. What other question you got, Crispin?
Oh yeah. I mean, this is probably gonna be a bad question because I shouldn't worry about it right now. But let's say I do onboard my first client and I sell them and stuff. Do I stop ads as I niche down?
Yeah, so the moment you close and you collect cash, don't touch your ads, don't touch anything, just reach out to us first and we'll tell you. We'll have a conversation about it. But most
Yeah, sounds
likely,
good.
you're gonna shut your ads off right then and there.
Yeah, sounds good. That was one of the other things that the chiropractic guy said. After he said, like, what do you charge? I said 20%. We broke it down, so it would have been like the 7,000. Usually I collect 20% of that. Then he said, oh shoot, what were we just talking about? There's brain flooded there. That might have been it. But I said, oh yeah, he said, so do you collect upfront or is it like before or after? And I said, yeah, it's upfront. So yeah, there's a few questions in there where I got hot, but I was like, yeah, it's upfront. It's an upfront payment.
Gotcha. So those are,
Pretty much it.
again, those are things that are a little bit more advanced. Those are things that are a little bit more advanced and things for you to worry about a little bit later. But like for sure, you don't want to give out the price. For sure, you don't want to say payment upfront. You don't want to talk about any of those things because those are conversations you have on the sales call. So what you have to do is, again, you have to get good at deflecting. You have to get really good at deflecting. You have to get at like answering a question without giving that away and then putting them back into the pipeline.
Right. Kind of like we'll go through this in the next, or I don't know. Yeah, okay. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Like, yeah, but like it has to be better than that. A lot of people do that and it's like, I don't think it's good enough. So what I mean by that is that. So if somebody asks, for example, about pricing, it's like, well, yeah, I'm happy to get into pricing with you. It really just depends though. It depends on various factors. For example, I'm pulling stuff out of the dome here. I'll tell you what I say. If somebody says, hey, how much does it cost? I'm like, okay, well, it depends. Do you want to work with me personally? Do you want to work with somebody on my team? Do you want to spend 1 month with me? Do you want to spend 3 months? Do you want me to build everything out for you? Are you looking for more for coaching? So it's really an a la carte system where you get to pick and choose what you're looking for that fits your bill. It depends on what you're looking for. Now, that being said, the rest of this call is to help you determine that. So I want to ask you a few questions to really figure out what works best for you. And again, you tell me, you're going to tell me what you want. And then from there, I'll lay out the prices for you. And then you can kind of fit, you can do what you want to do. And if you feel like that's not in alignment, well, then we can look at another package that works for you. So do you see what I'm doing there? I'm answering the question, but I'm not answering the question.
Yeah, I do. That's actually how we got into it.
Get good at that kind of stuff.
Right. That's how we actually got into we jumped straight to the numbers because he asked, what do you charge in that? And then I didn't really have an answer, but I wanted to explain it to him. So that's how I went from the question 3 all the way to crunching the numbers. And that's where he left. If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. He's like, what do you spend? I'm like, and because I said 20%, then I did that. And this is why. It's a numbers game. Then I went through the kind of script or in a horrible version of what you gave me. And that's kind of that's how I skipped over the whole car thing because I was confused as how I did that, but that's how. I just went from all this. I needed to explain why it's that. So I went down here. And then that's when I lost him. So I'm glad you said that actually, because I completely forgot. I didn't really remember how that happened.
So yeah, if you were to go back in time, what you would do is you would deflect. And then again, you ask him a question to put the ball back into his court. So you deflect, ask him a question, and then boom, he's back in the script. He's back in the funnel.
Right. After you like nail the language of this, it's gonna be like it's a superpower, isn't it? It's like it's a hard thing to kind of switch into that mode of like all the deflecting and get them to give you answers, but by not answering the questions directly, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
It's pretty,
You'll
it's
get it.
pretty, it's pretty scary, powerful if you want to bring it into a dark place. I feel like.
It is, but cheesy as it sounds, with great power comes great responsibility, right? Do good things with it.
Right. Um, um, Oh yeah, right. So back to like the script for the numbers crunching section. Is there a system that you guys have where it's almost like an Excel sheet where I can put in numbers? No, it's just I got to figure it out.
Yeah, so you have to, in an ideal case, they're already in an ideal case, they've yeah, what you have to do is you have to kind of guesstimate and have an idea before you hop on that discovery call, and already kind of have an idea of what you're going to say. And again, it has to be fluid. Literally what I said to you on this call in terms of how I crunch the numbers is different than what I said to you on the voice notes, because I don't remember. I literally don't remember what I said to you on the voice note versus now. But it's about like understanding the overall objective.
Right.
Does that make
Right.
sense, or does that not answer your question? I think what
No,
you're asking
no, it
for is an
does.
Excel sheet, like some kind of formula.
Yeah, yeah, almost
Okay.
like an exact script, but you change the numbers out so it makes sense for them. But so if I was to call them straight off the opt-in, they did fill out the application. I call them, they answer. I would just read off of the application, like you said, and then maybe that's how I get the numbers, and then I'd figure it out on the side while they answer or I start talking or whatever. Just figure it out. And that's basically what I gotta do. Okay.
Pretty much. Again, please watch that video, because that video I go over nuanced detail of exactly how to do it.
Okay.
But you have the right idea.
Okay. Oh yeah, when you have contacts in your opportunities page and they're duds, you already talked to them, they're duds, they don't have a business. Where do you put them? Because I almost don't want to lose them, because I always end the call with like, if this ever does come up again and you are interested or you're in a place where this does make sense, you have my contact, make sure to give me a call. I say something like that. So I just want to make sure to have them,
So what
or
you can do is you can go into your Go High Level and create another thing within your pipeline. Like you can manually just edit your pipeline, and then you can drag those people in there. So you can say duds to follow up in the future, for example. Does that make sense?
Okay. It's super simple. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, okay. Just make a new section for duds. All right. I think that's it for me. Thank you for
How
that.
are you feeling?
I'm pretty sweaty, it's like it's so much to take in and figure out, and there's so many fuck ups. It doesn't feel like I'm getting anywhere, but it's still exciting. Yeah, I think I just gotta learn the language and learn how to deflect and answer and get the right answers properly with the language that you're talking about. Just completely change how I speak.
My main thing to you is, do you feel like you're progressing? Do you feel
Yeah,
like
I mean,
you're
like
pushing further along?
yeah, like a week ago was my first day, and now I have leads. Like that alone is like, what the hell's going on here?
Do you
Um,
feel like you're progressed sales though? Like us hopping on this call, like at the very beginning of this call, you weren't even like using words to say how you felt, and you're like, I just fucked up. But like now, hopefully us going through
yeah,
this little session, like, do you feel better about like what you did versus what you must do? Do you feel like you've progressed?
yeah. If we didn't have this conversation, I would just probably repeat what I did in a little bit of a better way in my mind, which who knows if that is the right way. So yeah, absolutely. I got a completely different vision as to how they should go and what I need to do and how I need to come off to get what I want. And so yeah, absolutely. Big yeah.
So just so you know, this is normal. Like I said, me and Mason were laughing and joking and busting your balls a little, but this is normal. So how you feel incrementally better what's going to happen is you're going to go and you're going to get better, but you're going to still fuck up some stuff. And then what's going to happen? We're going to have another call, another conversation, and it's going to, again, you're going to see more and more of the light as time progresses. And then eventually you're going to be super smooth. And then this whole process, we're going to repeat it on your sales call, where at the very first sales call, again, it's going to be rough, but then it's going to get better and better and better. And ideally, again, within about 14 or 21 days, boom, you got your deal closed.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm excited. Excited to improve.
What else you got for us? Anything else?
Nope, not right now.
Mason, is that your new place?
Yeah, bro, it's been like that for the
Are
past
you
3-4 weeks, bro.
at your new place?
Yeah,
Or at the
I can't hear you. You're glitching out.
you you weren't on the call last week, so I didn't know.
Yeah,
So all right, dope. I like your background.
yeah, it's a lot better than what I was working with before. I still gotta add like I'm adding stuff on this wall, but I just haven't done it yet. Plus, this room was ugly as shit, so I painted it like a dark gray. It's like very dark gray. I have to honestly, like, I have to get a new camera because it makes everything look like shit. Like, I don't necessarily look like a ghost here. Like, Cam, there's kind of been a joke in the community because my camera's so shit that I like look through a ghost, like a transparent, like Casper. Like, I'm already really white as it is, so it doesn't really help my case. But actually, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go buy a new. I'm gonna go buy a new one, a new thing. But yeah, this is the new spot. It's a new crib. It's really nice, really comfy.
Nice.
That's dope. Cool.
Sheik, I gotta show you the garage, dude.
Huh.
I got a whole benching thing. We got all the weights. I got a hot tub in there, bro. We're living nice.
Good. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good. All right, guys. Well, is there anything else that anybody else wanted to go over?
Not that I can think of.
I didn't watch that. I only watched like 20 minutes of that YouTube video so far, but have you ever read the Motive by, I forgot what his name is. It's like Patrick Leonacci or some shit like that.
Which YouTube video?
It's by Cole Gordon. I built 8-figure companies here. Like the A players, they're the star players.
Yeah.
I'm going through that right now, but have you ever read that book or no? It reminds me so much of it so far. It's basically a book about these two companies, and they work in like security. Like one of the places called Golden Gate Security, and the CEO is kind of like he's on edge because he's not doing the best job that he can compared to his other like competitors in the space. So he asks one of his like rival companies that are doing the same thing, like, what are you guys doing or whatever? And the guy was nice enough to be like, yeah, like I can help you out for free. No big deal. I can talk to you about it. And the way they got in contact was one of the first guys that was struggling and like didn't know if he was going to maintain his job as the CEO of the new company is he reached out to the marketing firm of the guy that was really successful. And then the marketing agency said, yeah, like we'd love to help you, but it may be conflicting because we only want to help, one area in that niche, if that makes sense. So the guy ended up calling the other CEO and he was like, yeah, bro, like I heard you were trying to talk to the marketing agency. Like, I'll talk to you guys. I'll help you guys out for free and I'll teach you everything that we've learned at the other place. The guy's like, bet. So they start talking, and the more well-off guy that is running a better company is kind of asking questions, and he realizes that the other CEO is just a really terrible leader, and he has like very bad leadership skills, but he's very good at certain aspects of the business. And he's kind of like belittling what the other guy's saying that's more successful because he's not taking it seriously and just kind of saying like, oh, we just run things differently, blah, 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 and not really respecting his opinion. And like halfway through the meeting, he drops a bombshell on him. And he's like, yeah, really the reason I wanted to talk to you is because I just wanted to buy out your company. And the guy was like, okay, so you're asking me for free advice and now you're asking me to buy my company. Like, fuck you, dude, right? Because it's kind of just like a double-edged, like, it's just like a stab in the back kind of, because the guy was just trying to be nice. He's like, oh, I just want to buy your company. And the guy was like, yeah, like we would never sell our company, this and that. And he's like, well, did you ask, like, he's like, did you ask my employees what they would say? And the guy was like, yeah. And they didn't, they said, hell no, until we told them how much money we were going to give them. So we like saw how much money they were going to give. And he was like, fuck, that is a lot of money to buy the company. So the guy was like, yeah, maybe I'll think about it, this and that. So between the time period of them like having that scheduled meeting and like thinking about selling the company, the guy has a conversation with his wife and he realizes that not only did like the marketing agency kind of briefly tell him that like he's a fuck up, but the other CEO told him he was a fuck up and terrible at leading, and then his wife told him he was a fuck up at leading. So he goes in the meeting with the investors that are going to help him pay for acquiring that company, and he ends up buying the guy's, after like negotiating back and forth, he ends up buying that guy's company and then making him the CEO of the new company that he had. And then he downgraded himself as CEO, gave it to the other guy that was a better at leadership, and then he just was the head of marketing. So I just thought it was super interesting the way that like that went about. The guy was like, what the fuck? So you bought my company and then you made me the CEO of your company and then, like downgraded yourself because he realized he was just not as good as a leader as the other guy.
So the small guy bought the big guy?
The small guy,
the big guy bought the small.
the small guy took investors, bought out the big guy, and then made the big guy the CEO of the company. That it's basically like merging, they're like merging them together, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
So it was just like it was
Yeah.
super interesting going over it. I
So
just
he
thought,
kind of knew he was like a bad leader and just like said, screw it. That's why I'm gonna have this guy be the
yeah,
CEO.
he was like, he knew that like everything that he was saying to him eventually started to make sense. He was like, fuck, dude, like I'm not good at this. Like I don't have the leadership skills that I need, but I know that this guy does. So I'm just gonna buy out his company. But the only way that I'm gonna do it is if he becomes the new CEO of the merger company so that we can actually grow. And then I just want to be, you know, the chief, they call it chief executive, not executive, chief executing officer. That's like kind of what the book kind of describes it, but he just wanted to be like the head of marketing because that's what he was good at. So he basically bought this guy's company and then downgraded himself and then made the other guy the CEO. But it was just a really interesting, it's fictional. Yeah.
So it's not. So it's fictional. It's not true.
It's fiction.
Okay. It's still interesting. It's still cool.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. I mean, I really see how, just a few good solid employees away. So, I can see how, it definitely pertains to what Cole was talking about. I don't know how realistic that is. I don't see that ever happening in real life. You know what I mean?
Never know, man.
I don't see.
Someone's got to drop their
I don't think
ego
that would
pretty fat.
So basically what I'm saying is, Koshik, when you're ready to sell your company to me and then downgrade, you let me know.
Trying to put you in this nuanced spot.
Yeah.
Think about that. Like somebody's doing, I mean, imagine somebody is running a $10 million per year agency running work with gyms. Do you think that they're going to be able to ever convince Hormozy? Think about that.
Convince him what?
Probably not. Yeah, like imagine, an agency owner doing 10 million a year running their agency, running ads for gym owners. And they come to Hormozy and say, Hormozy, I want to buy you out, even though you make $100 million or whatever you make.
Yeah. Well, the guy wasn't retardedly as successful as the other guy. He was just doing way better than he was. So I think that would be the main.
So it's
but I know what your point is. Yeah.
So it's like incrementally better. I guess that makes sense. I can see.
Yeah.
That. So thank you for sharing that, bro.
Yeah. But I didn't
Whenever you want.
I didn't read all of it yet, but that's kind of like there's a story and then there's like the learning lessons of the actual story. So I haven't read those yet, but I'm sure it'll tie back into it. But what were you gonna say? I'm sure it was gonna be something.
No, I was just saying. Yeah, just whenever you're ready to buy my company, bro, let me know and introduce me to your investors, and investors will have a conversation. Let me look at that big fat check. We'll talk.
Got you.
So, all right, guys. Anything else anybody want to go over?
Nope.
No, that's it for me.
I'm chilling.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys here next week then. Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Later.
Nice meeting you.
Bye.